in 3 quarters in this year, we've already handled 13,000 plus. So that's 3 quarters. So if I simply extrapolate, that's 17 times the jump we have made since the COVID struck. Now that's good news, but of course our disposal rate has not matched up the 17 times. Our disposal rate has gone up 11 times, thus displaying our struggle of the widening gap as well, and we're very cognizant and mindful of that widening gap as well. But that's a better problem to be in, rather than lock yourself up, make yourself inaccessible, and then say, oh, our disposal rate is very high. If you see the other blue graph, this is, and we come from school of thought wherein we say if the information is provided timely to the right audience, very often the grievance will or violation will not exist in the first instance. Not always, but very often. So we started providing the correct information to the correct person at the correct time to avert a possible violation of a law. So in the early years, we never had such informational support for citizens, which we set up in 2020-21. And in this quarter, we have helped about 9,500 odd children avert a violation by providing them specific information at the right time. So this is where we are. And I can never forget that moment when I got a call from my staff, and he made me listen to this call recording of a helpline. And that goes to show the sheer tragedy that the COVID has been for children. And the call, sir, was from a 16-year-old boy. And the 16-year-old boy called a helpline from somewhere. He got our number and called us, and he asked us a specific question. And his question was, I have my mother and father dead next to me. What is the process of cremation? No 16-year-old boy needs to or deserves to undergo this kind of tragedy that they have to figure out the process of cremation of their parents. And that's the space, the social, emotional, legal space that we have to recover from, in the name of that boy and many other boys and girls who have undergone similar situation or trauma. Of these complaints that we have resolved, about 3,000 were SOS in nature. We have 7 criteria. I will not go into those details. If one of the 7 criteria is met, we qualify a complaint as an SOS, which is it has to be resolved within 24 hours. And about 86% of those complaints has been resolved within 24 hours, and 100% in 72 hours. These are kinds of complaints that we have received. A child has gone missing, a child is being subjected to physical abuse, a child is being engaged as a labor somewhere, suppose in a hazardous environment or whatever. These are kind of complaints. The second thing that COVID did, which is what I was earlier referring to the phone call, is we started tracing the children who were losing parent. And second wave of COVID was a disaster in that sense. We could identify in the first 2 months itself, proactively, 3,100 plus children who lost one parent and 78 children who lost both. And as we figured out, so the first level of figuring out who these children were, where these were, was done. But now the second and the actual task begins of providing them support. So one of the first things that we did was, and the government of Delhi came with a policy that those children who were studying in private school at the time of their parental loss will continue to study in the same private school. The government shall pay for it. And that was important because one part of the child's life or world has shattered. The other must remain intact, and that is a school. So we started ensuring that how many of these children study in private schools so that we can continue to ensure that they continue their education at the government expense under the very policy. So we could help out 700 such children. Similarly, a lot of these children or families required essential supplies given the nature of the lockdown. So we could, in cases where they required the essential supplies like rations, sanitary pads, for example, oil, for example, very often essential medicines, for example, we could help out with about 800 odd families. And then we started enrolling for them for different government schemes so that there is a sustainable institutional mechanism of their social protection. We did something, quite a few things we couldn't do there. The other thing that worried us is the access to the justice system. And when I say access to justice system, the victims of sexual violence hits my mind the first. So we started asking the simplest question. What are the different layers or the stages of a POCSO case where a child is a victim of sexual offense? And of course, there's standard. There's an FIR, there's an investigation, followed by charge sheet, followed by trial, and there's eventually a verdict by the court. So we started finding out, because the likes of HUC, for example, the likes of Vidhi Center for Legal Policy informed us through their research that the time from the date of the FIR and to the final court verdict is terribly and unacceptably long. So we started narrowing down as to what is causing the time period to be so long. So we started doing the time mapping. So we first zeroed in on these two stages as to why do investigations or charge sheeting takes so long a time. And this is the first thing that we could find, that a forensic examination takes a lot of time. And this is the first thing that we could find, that a forensic examination takes a lot of time. So we started decoding and unfolding that. And we found, of course, forensic examination requires time, and it does take more time than is acceptable standard for any of us. But there's one more gap that we found, that the forensic examination, while it was time-consuming and time-taking more than it should, the actual problem was with the Delhi police collecting the completed forensic examination reports. So if you see in August 2020, about 63% of the reports were pending collection. The completed forensic examination reports were pending collection by the IO for more than 7 days. If I take 7 days to 21 days, the number is not, doesn't improve much. It's still 40%. So imagine the reports are lying collection. And because that is important, because very often the forensic examination is a critical input to either the charge sheet or the supplementary charge sheet for the trial to commence. And very often, and for right reasons, trial should not commence until at least the investigation, the bulk part of it is over, and forensic examination forms a critical stage to that. We sought intervention of all that we could think of, from the Honorable LG to the Delhi Police to the Home Secretary to the Police Commissioner, everybody we knew. We started seeking intervention that this is unacceptable. Fast forward, only 6% reports are now pending for collection for more than 7 days. And now we track it. So that alone has allowed us to cut down the overall cycle of the justice process for the victim of sexual offense by about 18-20%, sir. A simple intervention, but that required us to do the time mapping more systematically. So that's one thing that we did and we could achieve, because it was all the more reason, given the compromised legal justice system in the light of the lockdown and the COVID that had put us all in. The last, we also, while reviewing the implementation of juvenile justice law, and that's the other section that we are deeply concerned about, children who often come in conflict with law, where there are systematic and systemic reasons why children are first pushed to that stage. And how do we ensure that that doesn't happen? And wherever that happens, how do we ensure that children are genuinely and meaningfully rehabilitated so that they lead a better life, they lead a more respectable life, they lead a more dignified life? So we started reviewing the implementation of juvenile justice law, and much to our horror, we found 1,300 proceedings being pursued against children in conflict with law outside the scope of the law. So these 1,300 proceedings, prima facie, were illegal. Now, we weren't the experts at law. I certainly am not. So we started seeking legal opinion on that. Prima facie, it looks like outside the scope of the law. But are they really outside the scope of the law? So we sought a legal opinion from different experts. And one such remarkable expert is Honorable Justice Lokur, whose legal opinion we sought on the matter. By the time we finished all our consultation, deliberation, examination, the number had ballooned to 1,900. So the proceedings outside the scope of the law were only ballooning. We were at 1,900. Seeing no choice, we filed a writ and we approached the Delhi High Court, seeking the termination. The good thing is, hearings happened and the High Court was pleased to quash all 1,900 cases in a single order, thus giving a dignified life to these children back. And then we started tracking and ensured, till date, the High Court order is absolutely being complied in letter and spirit in Delhi. But we were, the reason we could do this is because we, to begin with, cared enough. But why am I telling you all this? Because we suffer from no illusion that we were the only one doing some work during COVID or pre-COVID. all of you are doing as well. So today is a celebration for all of the good work that you did during COVID or pre-COVID. And that is what led us to Institute Children's Award. Because as the situation was worsening due to COVID, socially, economically, medically, we realized people were stepping up. And people were stepping like never before. So we set up Children's Champion Award to celebrate such people. The process was long, and those involved in the process would agree with me, terribly long. So each awardee eventually went through 2 rigorous process. There were 12 categories of the award, children being the one. So children means the children who are themselves change makers. The 11 categories are for adults working for children. And the categories involves from juries to politics to child protection to public service to health. We had a very accomplished and distinguished jury. Justice Deepak Gupta was there, Mr. Anshu Gupta was there, Dr. Shushin Bajaj, Ms. Kanta, Rohan Verma, Sudarshan, Brinda ma'am, and Dr. Guruswamy. So very accomplished and distinguished and very independent and fair-minded jury. And eventually we are here. So I end here, but I will say the last thing as that while we all celebrate all the great works that you have done and even greater work that you will continue to do henceforth and moving forward as well, what will be helpful for all of us to bear in mind is the pain that that boy was experiencing when he gave us a call and asked us what is the correct process for cremation of my parents. I hope that will be the guiding spirit as we try and move away from the consequences of COVID. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for setting the context. Pandemic has indeed been a great teacher for all of us.
Further, now I'd like to request Honorable Justice P.S. Narasimha, Judge Supreme Court of India, to address us and formally inaugurate the ceremony.
Can we have a thunderous round of applause for sir? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anurag, Anshu Gupta, Sanjana Prasad, Honorable dignitaries, Justice Madan Lokor. As Anurag has just said, this is a time for celebration, not for long speeches. Till I became a judge, I used to speak less, and I would speak spontaneously. But it's necessary now, as I have to speak more and to write and read what my speech is. But having seen the work that has been done and the occasion, I would like to go off the written script and share with all of you some of my thoughts. In my earlier days, when I read Gandhi's biography, Louis Fischer said a very beautiful thing which stayed with me for the rest of the times. He said, Gandhiji wasn't different from any one of us. The way he would feel when he saw discrimination or injustice or suffering, it was exactly the same like any one of us. The only difference, he says, he found in Gandhiji is that after having felt, he would just get up and then do what needs to be done to rectify it. That made all the difference. And that's how we became Gandhiji. In our daily life also, we see a lot of children at red lights, traffic lights, construction sites. In fact, myself, when I was building my house, as I would enter the site, I would see the mother carrying the weight, and then the children are playing with mud and bricks. So I would feel, man, how am I going to live in this house? But the way of life is like that. And we continued, and I continued like many of us did. I think today we have assembled to felicitate the extraordinary people who have not just walked on, who stopped by and decided that they have to do something and took to action. And this is a feature of human life which we must all recognize, and all of us must follow the step that they have taken. That's the reason why today's award giving becomes very important to my mind. What felicitation functions like this does is that we actually are acknowledging them. We recognize their quality of human life, which is most important quality, which is the quality of selflessness. When we move on, I think why we do that is because we have our work behind our mind. We have to accomplish things. So we move on. Whereas these are the people who would have thought that my moving on itself is not enough. I need to do little more to the next. That's the difference that they make. And felicitation for people like this is actually recognition of that human trait which recognizes that you are not alone in this world. You need to be along with all others. That's the most essential part of it. That selflessness as a feature in human beings is to be recognized from time to time. That's what makes all of us human. Another aspect of it is when we recognize them, we will also simultaneously be motivating others to follow the path. There's a beautiful saying in Bhagavad Gita that yad yataridi shreshtaha tatta deve taro janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokas tadanu vartate. Shreshtas, as they say, are people who are recognized by the institution today, are those people whose path is a path which people will recognize and follow. So whatever they think is a good thing to do, many of us will get inspired by that and will continue to do that. That's another feature, and I must congratulate the DCPCR for organizing this. Another very interesting thing which I have found in the identification of the fields, various fields in which I would call them the Shreshtas were recognized. Journalism, a good story, a beautiful story written of a life situation, and that would have touched and become compelling for many people to take note of. That's the contribution of journalists who have written about children's lives. There is recognition of also people who are in politics, that is the public life, where they would have been in the democratic process. But even being a politician, some of these people have thought that they need to do something more. And DCPCR recognizes even politicians. There are people in public services. These are people who have gone beyond the call of duty. The routine jobs that a government official does. But somebody felt, being a government servant, that there is a little more extra that one needs to do. So there is again a recognition there of persons who are in public life. A jurist, in reality, nothing in particular that he does which is physical in nature, in the sense that any action, but then the thought matters. It is that thought which would have developed into a normative principle, which is so very important, as we see all the time, that the moment you recognize be as a judge or a jurist or write an article. It will inspire a lawmaker, and it will enable interpretation of laws, and it will enable effective interpretation of rules. That's the contribution of those jurists who thought of saying something and setting a principle with respect to matters concerning the lives of children. They recognize jurists also. And then there are, of course, in education, sports, health, nutrition, all these areas in which people have contributed, leading to DCPCR's recognition. I must also congratulate DCPCR for some extraordinary work. Anurag has indicated to us very clearly. What really impressed me was that it prevented almost 40,000 school dropouts. It's an extraordinary thing. Those 40,000 people who have gone back to school are India. That's the India that we are talking about. So we have made that effort to ensure that they go back to school, and you can imagine that those 40,000 students, or any more effort that all state commissions do, that will directly have a relation to what India that we are going to have in times to come. And they have helped almost 2,900, almost 3,000 children who have lost their parents and continued to support them, child immunization, nutrition levels, and a very, very sensitive thing about termination of criminal cases against 2,000 children. Extraordinary contribution. I must congratulate him. And also rehabilitation of about 35,000 students who were on the streets. Finally, I would also want to, today as we honor those who have contributed to the welfare of the children, let us also strengthen our efforts to create a world where the children have no dearth for love and security of family, and build an infrastructure suitable for their healthy growth. One very beautiful statement that I have read is that it takes a village to raise a child. You all must be knowing about it. So therefore, we must create that universe in which a child can grow, not to provide, I mean, even the way in which we grow our children with the kind of lack of vision is also causing a problem. But then the infrastructure as well as the world ideal for the child to grow must be a thing which must be there in the mind of every commission. And I must again congratulate you for the steps that you have taken. I am confident that the efforts of the commission will be fruitful and it will restore the universe of every child. My congratulations to all those awardees, not only to the awardees, but also those who were considered for award, because grant of an award is incidental, consideration is far more important, and that's more than enough. And for many of us to follow the steps that you have taken. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your words of wisdom. Indeed, we need to recognize our selflessness. Well, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. Having come together, now we begin with the much-awaited award ceremony. I hope you all are excited. The awards will be conferred by P.S. Narasimha sir, followed by awardees addressing us briefly. So please gear up, for here we go.
Let us begin with the first category, which is journalism. As Honorable Justice rightly mentioned, a good story touches the lives of many. It's our privilege to recognize Ms. Sukrita. She is a reporter with Indian Express and reports extensively on education and children, highlighting their concerns and amplifying their voices. Now I request Ms. Sukrita Barua to kindly come on stage and Mr. Shoikat Roy to kindly come and read the citation for Ms. Sukrita. Mr. Shoikat is the lead social impact, Boston Consulting Group, and a member of selection committee. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Ms. Sukrita Barua for journalism.
Congratulate Sukrita Barua for her very sensitive and incisive reporting on the cause of children. Congratulations to Sukrita.
I would like to request Honorable Justice P.S. Narasimha sir to confer Children's Champion Award on Ms. Sukrita. Please put your hands together. I would like to request Ms. Sukrita to say a few words, please.
I'm extremely honored to receive this very special award. For me, it's a extremely strong affirmation to know that the work I've been doing has been meaningful in some way, especially to the lives of children. So thank you so much. And I'm also thankful to my editors at the Indian Express for enabling me to do journalism that places children at its center. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Sukrita, ma'am. We hope you'll continue to represent children's voices. Kudos to you, ma'am. Well, jumping on straight to the next category, which is politics, it's our privilege to honor Miss Abula Blessy, commonly known as Sarpanch Blessy, who decided to transform her village named Yakulu into a model village with the collective efforts of her villagers. She has even created a child-friendly Gram Panchayat, which is unbelievable, and I'd request Miss Abula Blessy to please come on stage. Now allow me to invite Mr. Anshu Gupta, CEO Goons, and Raymond Magsaysay awardee. He was even a part of the jury for the award. I would request Mr. Anshu to please read the citation of Miss Abula Blessy.
Thank you and congratulations, Abula. This award is for your contribution in making child-friendly panchayats and thus demonstrating child-friendly governance in action. Congratulations.
Now I'd like to request Justice P.S. Narasimha to confer the Children's Champion Award on Sarpanch Blessy ma'am. A big round of applause, everyone. Now I'll request Blessy ma'am to please say a few words, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. I am coming from Andhra Pradesh, in Tirupati district, and Dorwar Chitra Mandalam, Ekol Grama Panchayat. I heartful thanks to this award. Thank you so much, sir. I would like to special thanks to my district officers, District Collector sir, DPO sir, DLP, MPDO, MRO sir, and Panchayat Secretary. They are encouraged and supported. All provides this occasion. With the same spirit, we will do hard work, more enthusiastically on the coming days. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We would really love to see you work more enthusiastically. I hope you'll keep inspiring others to take on such revolutionary steps.
Let us move towards the third category, that is public service. We express our gratitude to the individuals and organizations who have been recognized for their work in public service. It's our privilege to honor Mr. Vijayan, who is Inspector General of Police in Kerala, who designed the concept of child-friendly police station to prioritize policing of cases involving children. I would like to request Mr. Vijayan to kindly come on stage. I would also like to request my co-anchor Saksham to read the citation for Mr. Vijayan.
P. Vijayan is being awarded for his initiatives for youth and children and to promote holistic growth and development.
I would like to request Honorable Justice Narasimha sir to kindly confer Children's Champion Awards on Mr. Vijayan sir. few words, please.
Good morning to all Manendo, respected dignitaries of and on the dais. I dedicate this award to my team. We have around 20,000 volunteers, teachers, and police officers working for the care and protection of children. And I have around 2 million children also with me, so I dedicate this award to them. I'm basically an Inspector General of Police, Anti-Terrorist Squad of Kerala, head of it, and heading a publishing house of the largest publishing house of Kerala. It's MD also. But my passion and conviction is with the care and protection of children. Because I love my 2 children, just like I love other children also. But the question is that, India is having 1/3 of its population, 40 crore, is below the age of 14. Some people say we have a demographic dividend. It's only a demographic bulge. Are we making any effort to convert it into a demographic dividend? That's a big question. When we look at, we are talking about 40,000 dropouts. You know that 47 million children are not reaching up to the 10th standard according to UNESCO. And at least 20% of our children is having either mental or emotional illness. And suicide is the third largest cause of suicide, the death among the children. Like that, when we take the statistics, it's the very hard realities are there. But I seriously feel that we are not paying enough attention or doing investment in the care and protection of children. We are conceived and implemented, or we are not just giving protection, we are engaging, enabling, and empowering children through at least 12 programs, and almost 2 million children are there. But still, we are so unhappy in the sense that, again, there are 400 million children below the age is there. They are not being unattended. Thank you so much for giving away this award. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for paying attention to children's issues. It's our privilege to honor Ms. Roshnela Gurung, who joined as the District Child Protection Officer in 2016, and ever since she has joined, she has managed to bring about a lot of reforms in establishing a strong child protection ecosystem. So Ms. Roshnela is already on stage. I request Saksham to read the citation for her.
Ms. Roshnela Gurung for her admirable efforts towards establishing a strong child protection ecosystem in her district. A big round of applause for Ma'am Ms. Roshnela.
I would like to request Honorable Justice to confer Children's Champion Award on Ms. Roshnela. My request to Ms. Roshnela to say a few words.
There are often moments in life when one experiences inexplicable joy that one cannot express their emotions through those symbols called words. It can only be articulated through the inaudible language of heart, and that is the moment I'm experiencing right now. I think nothing can be more honorable for me than being referred as champion for children, because working for and with children has given me immense fulfillment and has taught me life's greatest lesson. I don't know if I've done enough, but I can assure you that I'm going to live by this title as my life's true purpose. And I think it would be unfair for me to take the credit all by myself, because for the reason that I'm here, I had a very strong and resilient team behind me that made this possible. And I cannot leave this stage without thanking my source of motivation and indomitable spirit of will and strength. That is my mom, who's here with me today, and my family back in Sikkim, who's been my biggest cheerleader, and of course my little sister Chosangra. So thank you once again. Thank you for the honor.
Thank you, Roshnela, ma'am.
Have a great day ahead.
Thank you, Roshnela, ma'am. I think your mom must really be proud of you. And every district requires personalities like you, ma'am.
It's our privilege to honor Mr. Pulkit Khare, an IAS officer who has helped over 3,400 malnourished children in District Hardoi and over 2,000 malnourished children so far in District Pilibhit. I would like to request Mr. Abhinay sir to come on stage and receive the award on behalf of Mr. Pulkit Khare. My request to Saksham to read the citation for Mr. Khare.
Pulkit Khare for his focused governance to address and combat malnutrition in his district. A big round of applause for sir, everyone.
I request to Honorable Justice Sir to confer the award, please. Let us give a huge round of applause for all the people who are working tirelessly for our children. I request Mr. Abhinay Singh to convey the message from Mr. Pulkit.
सभी को नमस्कार। मैं डीएम पुलकित खरे सर की तरफ से डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्रोग्राम ऑफिसर मथुरा हूँ। आप सभी को मैं बताना चाहूँगा कि ऑनरेबल जो हमारे जो डीएम सर हैं उन्होंने टेली न्यूट्रिशन सर्विसेज के लिए बहुत काम किया। आपको पता है कोविड का जो पीरियड था वो कितना टफ था और ऐसे में न्यूट्रिशन सर्विसेज सुदूर गाँव में भेजना कितना मुश्किल और कितना चैलेंजिंग था। ऐसे में डीएम पीलीभीत के तौर पर उन्होंने एक बहुत बड़ी मिसाल कायम की। उन्होंने टेली न्यूट्रिशन सर्विसेज के आधार पे रिमोट एरियाज़ में जो बच्चे जिनका पोषण स्तर काफ़ी नीचे था उनको 8 पोषण विशेषज्ञों के माध्यम से रेगुलर उनकी देखभाल करते हुए उन्हें लगभग 800 से ज़्यादा बच्चों को उन्होंने सैम कैटेगरी से उनको ग्रीन कैटेगरी में लाने का उन्होंने बहुत गंभीर प्रयास किया। और आगे भी अभी डीएम मथुरा के तौर पर वो हमारे यहाँ अभी जो मिशन हर बच्चे को छत भी उन्होंने शुरू किया है, जिसमें वो बच्चे आंगनवाड़ी केंद्रों पर पढ़ने वाले ऐसे बच्चे जो बाहर जिनके लिए खुले में जिनके लिए कोई रूम या स्पेस नहीं था, ऐसे लगभग 11,000 बच्चों को उन्होंने अभी अपने एफर्ट से छत उपलब्ध कराया। तो मैं सर की तरफ से मैं यहाँ पर उनके रिप्रेजेंटेटिव के तौर पे हूँ और आप सभी को बहुत धन्यवाद इस कार्यक्रम के आयोजन के लिए। प्रणाम।
Thank you, Abhinay sir. We hope Mr. Pulkit continues to serve our nation and the children the way he is.
It's our privilege to recognize Ms. Rukmani Riyar Sehag, IAS officer, DM of Sri Ganganagar district in Rajasthan. She supported the children in the district by improving primary health care, nutrition, and preschool learning, which eventually helped in their overall personality development through Anganwadis. Ma'am is on stage. May I request Aksham to read the citation?
Ms. Rukmani Riyar Sihak for her notable efforts to re-establish the Anganwadi centers as the holistic places for child development. A big round of applause for ma'am.
I would like to request Honorable Justice Narasimha sir to do the honors, please. I would like to request Ms. Rukmani to share her views with us.
A very good morning, respected dignitaries on the stage and the members of civil society in the audience today. Thank you for honoring the work that has been done by me as District Collector of Ganganagar and now as District Collector of Hanumangarh in Rajasthan. I firmly believe that preschool education is the foundation of the right to education that is guaranteed by our constitution to every child of our country. And this award is special because as a mother of 2, I understand the importance education holds for every parent and the meaning it has for the students and children of our country. We are working to modernize our Anganwadis through digitalization of their syllabus, through building as learning aid and through also providing the children holistic nutrition in the Anganwadis. And I hope that this award's recognition today motivates others in the public service and civil society to do more for the children in preschool education. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Rukmani. We hope you'll continue to do the good work and your district really needs you, ma'am.
Can we have a round of applause, please? Round. Thank you. In words of Grace Abbott, I quote, "Justice for all children is high ideal in a democracy." We move forward to our 4th category of jurist. It is our esteemed privilege to honor Justice Madan B. Lokur, the former judge of Supreme Court of India. He is also former Chief Justice of Andhra Pradesh High Court and Guwahati High Court. Thank you, sir, for coming on stage.
May I request Anurag Bhaiya to read the citation for Honorable former Justice Madan Lokur and Justice Lokur to please come forward.
Before I read the citation as recorded by the jury, sir, if I may permit it to say, and I'm pretty sure I speak on the behalf of many when we say we are all your fans, sir. Justice Madan Bhimrao Lokur, for his judicial contribution to prioritize the cause of children in need of care and protection, and for his advocacy to bring focus on implementation of children-friendly statutes such as Protection of Children from Sexual Offences, POCSO Act 2012, and Juvenile Justice, Care and Protection of Children Act 2015.
I would like to request Honorable Justice Nasima, sir, to confer the award, please.
I'd like to request Justice Lokur, sir, to please say a few words, put his heart out, and just let us hear from him.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, first of all, I would like to congratulate DCPCR for the excellent work that they've been doing over the last couple of years, particularly during the COVID period. I would also like to congratulate all the fellow awardees, for the magnificent work that they've been doing for a long, long time. Many of them I've had some association with, and I hope all of you continue doing the excellent work that you are doing. I feel that we talk a lot about children being the future of India. Now, if we are interested in the future of India, we want a better future of India, I think we have to make the lives of children much better. And I think it is with that objective that I got involved in the rights of children and the lives of children, to make their lives better, to give them their rights, their entitlements, so that India becomes a better place for them and a better place for all of us as well. So I think if we are all in a position to do a little bit, as much as we can, to make the lives of children better, I'm sure we'll be doing a lot for our country. So thank you, and all the best to all of you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. And I'd like to tell you that sir has also been a part of the second journal of Children First, and as well as the third journal. And he has been very supportive all through this time. So thank you so much, sir, for your support. We really appreciate that.
We would like to celebrate the prolific work done by Mr. Anant Kumar Asthana, who is a child rights lawyer. He specializes in laws related to children and has more than 15 years of experience of engaging with child protection work at all levels in India. Mr. Asthana could not join us today because of certain medical reasons. I would request Dr. Binod to come on stage on behalf of Mr. Anant Kumar Asthana and receive this award.
I'd like to request Anurag Bhaiya to please read the citation for Anant Asthana, and Dr. Binod Kumar to please come on stage and come forward.
Mr. Anant Kumar Asthana, for his strategic use of the law to bend the arc of justice towards children and to amplify in courtrooms and training halls the voices of children who need protection of the law.
Again, may I have the opportunity to request Honorable Justice Sir to kindly confer the Children Champion Award on
Audience, you need to clap a little louder. Thank you. I would like to request Dr. Binod to convey the message from Mr. Asthana.
Thank you. Just wanted to convey the exact message conveyed by Mr. Asthana. I know him for last 20 years, and we have worked together on many issues, including children. So I quote, "It is my loss that I am personally not present here today due to personal difficulty. I join all the awardees respected jury members, honorable judges, and all my friends present here physically and online in celebrating these recognitions. When I was conveyed by DCPCR chairperson Sri Anurag Kunduji about the jury's decision to recognize me as one of the recipient in the jurist category, I, despite my initial hesitation, decided to accept this recognition as mark of recognition of class which I represent. It is the class of people who silently and dutifully serve the country and society. People who come from humble background, people who come from villages, towns, and small cities, people who do not know and speak the language and the mannerism of sophistication and elitism, people whose knowledge, dedication, hard work, and talent is used by people in power without giving due recognition, people who are not born with silver spoon, people who face all the struggle with dignity of the ordinary and stay focused to work and results. This award I accept for all such people I have just mentioned. Before I conclude, kindly allow me to say that I am not considering this award as one of the given to me as individual, rather than it is an award for all those who have trusted me, taught me, nurtured me, supported me, and have scolded me whenever needed. You know who you are, and I am not naming your name here today. But trust me, whatever way I have been able to contribute to the cause of children, it is only because of your effort in shaping me. I am grateful to Honorable Justice P.S. Narasimha for awarding me. I am grateful to Dr. Binod Kumar for accepting this recognition on my behalf and also coming here personally and reading out this message. I am honored and humbled. The cash prize I have decided to donate for various causes I support. Thank you. Grateful to all of you for witnessing this recognition and listening to what I have to say. Have a great day. Thank you. Unquote.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so very much to Anand, sir. We are very much delighted to award eminent personalities like you, and we are delighted to hear your noble thoughts as well.
We extend our heartfelt gratitude to Honorable Justice Narasimha, sir, for conferring the awards. I would now like to request sir to share some concluding remarks, sir. Sir, please. Audience, once again, thank you.
It was very, very heartening to see awards being given in the first phase in the field of journalism, politics, public service, and for jurists. For journalism, Sukrita Barua, a big applause for her. And in politics, Blessy, she is also Telugu speaking, and she is from my state, for which Justice Lokur was the Chief Justice for some time. In public service, DCPCR has awarded the excellent work done by Mr. Vijayan, Mr. Roshnila Gurung, Pulkit Khare, and Rukmani Sihang. For jurists, Justice Madan Lokur, Anant Astana. Anurag was telling me that for granting all these awards, they had processed as many as 1,100 applications, 1,100 selectees. And I think every one of that 1,100 selectees also definitely deserve an applause. As I said earlier, selection is incidental, but then consideration itself is a very, very big thing. Recognition is very important for two reasons, as I've said. uh, for recognition of ourselves. A very great philosopher was asked a question as to how do we treat others, sir? His answer was, there are no others. There are no others. It's one of the highest philosophy in a way, in the sense that you identify with the pleasure and pain of others. That is the essence of humanity. And all the awardees, as well as those who have been considered, definitely have shown some feature of that great quality. I congratulate all of them. And I thank Anurag for giving me this opportunity. This is one of the great and very loving functions that I have attended in recent times. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We are delighted to hear your noble thoughts. And indeed, there's no other person. All of us are standing on the same pedestal.
So before the beginning of the program, we had started with a quiz. And we are still left with 2 questions. So are we all ready? Can we go back? Okay.
Go to www.menti.com and please use the link.
So let us give a huge round of applause to Honorable Justice Narasimha sir. Thank you so much, sir, for being here with us today. We are indeed honored to have you here. And before we move on to our next leg of the program, we'll quickly finish our quiz and let us see who wins this quiz.
So please visit www.menti.com. Just take on your devices and just search www.menti.com and use the link 61805745.
So the code remains the same. It is 61805745. Okay, so those of you who were not present at that time and those who missed this quiz can again quickly take part in this quiz. So the first question remains the same. How are you feeling? So after the first leg of this program, how are you feeling now? You can again fill it up. Are you happy? Excited?
I can see inspired, which surely is.
Inspired, motivated after seeing so many awardees working so hard for children. How do you feel?
I can see amazing, great, excellent, best. So can we have the next question, please? Why have we gathered today? I think all of us know. That is the promised good lunch. My friend is winning an award again, so it remains the same. I think I might win an award. It's going
So
up.
the promise of lunch is going down? It is there, don't worry.
The louder you clap, the faster you'll get the lunch.
So it is directly proportional.
Exactly. My friend is winning an award, I guess. All of us must be proud then. Can we have the next question, please? What is DCPCR's helpline number? Let's check how strong is your memory. Have you remembered?
Great.
Yeah,
So
great.
we can see more correct responses now.
That's good. So we were able to make you aware of that.
And that also shows, Saksham, that people are listening to us.
They really are.
Yeah, great.
Thank you so much. Okay, so can we have the next question, please? What is the full form of DCPCR? Let's see.
I'm sure this time it's going to be 100% correct.
Exactly. I can see very less responses. I mean, there are a lot of people in the hall. Please be involved in the quiz, participate. We'll love to hear your responses. Okay, so if it's a clear majority, clear win. Delhi Commission for Protections of Child Right. So please, can we have the next question, sir? How many times has DCPCR conferred Children's Champion Award? Of course, everyone knows it's the very first time it's a maiden ceremony.
Anyone in the audience who's getting all answers correct?
Please raise your hands by raise of
Can
hands.
we see? Oh, great.
Someone saying the fourth time. But we also have a majority in the first one. Can we have the next question, please? Children's Award will be conferred in how many categories? Sir, P.S. Narasimha sir has just apprised us about that.
We are honored to have amongst us Ms. Atishi Singh, Honorable Minister of Education and Women and Child Development. Let us welcome with a huge round of applause.
A round of applause, everyone.
Ma'am has played a significant role in shaping the education of Delhi. I'm really fortunate to work under ma'am's guidance in several projects like Mentor Teacher Program, Mission Bunyad. I would like to request Mr. Ankit Jayant, Consultant DCPCR, to felicitate ma'am.
Again with beautiful paintings made by beautiful children.
We are so honored to have you, ma'am.
A big round of applause for Atishi ma'am.
A teacher and his way of thinking. That's what is most important in any educational system. It should always be an evolving process.
Now I'd like to invite Anurag Bhaiya once again, Chairperson DCPCR, for a brief presentation and setting the direction for the next segment of the event.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for finding time. I will quickly summarize. The Children's Champion Award, which we instituted last year, is in 12 categories. And so far, the Honorable Justice Narasimha has conferred the award in 4 categories: politics, public service, jurist, and journalism. But because the context is the brilliant work being done across the country, I would try and reinforce some of that context. In the earlier segment, I'd spoken about the devastating consequences of COVID and the immediate repercussions that laid out for children, including school closures. But there came a stage the schools opened up. Can we have the presentation? So there came a stage, the schools opened up. And when the schools opened up, the process of recovery started. So I want to start by telling 3 stories, ma'am. The first story is a story of a girl called Alicia. Alicia is 9-year-old. She was consecutively absent from the school for 11 days. Now, because she was absent from the school for 11 consecutive days, that made us worried. And we started finding out as to why is Alicia absent for so long. And we reached out, and we found out that the father has killed the mother, leaving Alicia in a situation where the mother is no more and the father is in jail. And that was the reason Alicia was not coming to school. Now, I am less suddenly worried about the education. I'm more worried about the social emotional situation Alicia is in, or what kind of trauma she's experiencing. Now, because her consistent absence from the school gave us the early warning that something is terribly amiss in her life, we could reach out. And we could do some things in the situations. For example, the relatives of Alicia were ready to take care of her, but raising 2 more children, and Alicia has a sibling, is not easy. So there is a Delhi government scheme under which we got the family 6,500 rupees per month. So at least the basics of the child's lives are taken care of. We also try and got Alicia to emotionally recover from the trauma she has experienced. But all of this is possible because we reacted or acted on the early warning caused or reflected in a consistent absence from the school. Similarly, Priya is also a student of the Delhi government, and she is 16-year-old and was consecutively absent for 10 days. So we got worried and we've reached out and found out why is Priya absent. And we found out that the parents have decided not to send her to school because she is set to be married off soon. Now, her 10 days consecutive absence gave us that warning, necessary warning. So we could involve the subdivisional magistrate, the district child protection unit, and not only avert the marriage, but could, cajole, coerce, थोड़ा प्यार से थोड़ा सा डर से समझा कर पेरेंट को that marrying the girl at 16 is not the right idea. The good thing is the parents understood. And this was a story of July 2022. And I'm happy to report that Priya has recorded 100% attendance in December and her finished 10th board examinations last week. And she is unmarried. And the parents have committed to hold on for at least 2 years, hopefully more. Meet Divya. Divya is also a student in a Delhi government school. She is 7-year-old who was again consecutively absent for 12 days. Now, once again, her absence from the school had us worried. Something was terribly amiss. We didn't yet know what was. So we reached out. And we reached out and found out that Priya has a medical issue. She has cyst in her breast, which requires surgery. And sometimes navigating the really big hospital administration could be very intimidating a process. So we helped her out. She needed the blood. We helped her out. Priya underwent surgery. This was a story from August. The good thing is Priya has been attending school and in January recorded full attendance in school. But we could act on all of this because we acted or we were alerted on the early warning reflected in children's consistent absence. Very often it's easy for us to say, oh, parents padhana nahi chahte. But that's not the case. I've rarely met a parent who doesn't want the future of the children to be much better than theirs, or what they can even hope for themselves. So there are other barriers. So when we started intervening systematically and systemically, we realized of the 19 lakh children who are enrolled in Delhi government, around 11% are chronically absent. And when I say chronically absent, I mean 7 days consecutively, or attendance dipping below 33% at any stage. So almost 2 lakh plus children fall in that category. So there's clearly something that is terribly wrong happening in these children's lives, such as the 3 stories that we heard. So we started intervening. We started leveraging the district child protection units, the child welfare committees, the sub-divisional magistrates, the different NGOs, the school management committees, the teachers, the schools, and we could start identifying, reaching out, and supporting these children. And in almost a year that the project has been at full scale of its existence, in fact, exactly a year, we started 1st April 2022. We have so far been able to bring about 55,000 children back to school. And we've had to intervene 3,100 times at such high intensive mechanism. We are still in touch with about 80,000 odd students. Hopefully, April will see the 80,000 students return as well. Clearly, you would be asking 55,000 plus 80,000 minus 2 lakh, still a large number. And that reflects our struggle. And the task is, in that sense, quite cut out for us in the subsequent academic year. The second thing that I wanted to talk about is, once again, rehabilitation of children who are in need of care and protection. Very easily, we reduce rehabilitation to counseling session, to medical support, and to financial compensation, all of which is important. I, for once, don't want to undermine the importance of any of these 3. But one of the most important elements of rehabilitation is if we can get our children to read. If our children cannot read, let me not mince my words, they're done and dusted. I will not hire a peon who can't deliver a letter to the designated address. And that reading skill is must to even deliver a letter to the designated address. That means we are not preparing our students from our children's homes even for those jobs. And that clearly has something gone wrong with the rehabilitation then, if that's the case. So, I don't need to repeat what Asar says. Shailendra is here. Asar says every year that half our country can't read at grade level. In fact, half our country can't read 3-4 years behind the grade level. So not going there. Let me come and throw the light on our children's homes. And we found last year that 23% of the children in children's homes can't read alphabets in Hindi. And that's 1/4. We found only 1/10 of the children could read advanced story. In the language context, advanced story is roughly equivalent to 5th grade story. In maths, 14% could not identify digits. They didn't know 1, 2, 3. To them, it's just a random drawing. And 24% only could do division. Fast forward February, through the Reading Intervention Campaign with the help of Pratham Foundation, we have made some progress and not made the other. The number from 23% has dropped to 9%, and the children who can read advanced story has quadrupled. Similarly, in maths, the number of children who can't identify digits has gone to 4%, and the children who can do division has roughly doubled to nearly half. So some progress made, but a large progress yet to. Hopefully, we'll make that as well. And the last, this is a website, but more than the website, when we were consulting different stakeholders whose children have a disability or they themselves have a disability, we asked them what are their struggles. And one of the biggest struggles that they told us was that there's information asymmetry. Government comes up with gazette notifications. I completely assure you, nobody can read those gazette notifications, perhaps except the one who writes. And I'm using perhaps even for them. Not fully sure if they can decode once it's published what they have written. And government issues far too many gazette notifications. For 70 schemes, there are 70 gazette notifications, and then addendums, and then corrigendums, and then amendments. It is hard. It is hard even for civil servants, and it is incredibly hard for a person who can't read administrative language, which is honestly an alien language. It reads like wide order number so-and-so, dated so-and-so. Now you have to first call out this order to make sense of the rest of the paragraph. Then somehow you're able to get hold of that order, and then that reads in pursuance of so-and-so section of so-and-so statute, and then you have to call out the relevant statute. Net, it's unreadable, even by those fully educated. So how do I, as an ordinary person, then access information relevant to me amongst the thousands of gazette notifications governments have issued and present it to me in a manner that I understand? So we started with children with special needs, and we said, all right, let us demonstrate a governance model that we believe can work. And hopefully, government in Delhi or government across the country would say, yeah, we can do that perhaps, and we can make it better. So let's say I have a child who's 5 years old, and 5 is just a number. And let's say I have a annual income of 45,000 rupees. So the website will call out every gazette notification and tell me only what's relevant to me. So don't bore me with information that's not relevant to me. And these two attributes are often the criteria at which government schemes are dependent on your age, your annual income, etc. And then I'm interested in, let's say, only in education. So then it shows, it shows for a 5-year-old of this annual income bracket, what are the different schemes for education. So 3% CWSN quota, and every information at single eligibility requirement, document required, application process, timeline, where to go for grievance, all entitlements. But I'm not interested in education. And all hyperlinks, so you need not go to any other website. Every website that you are required to go, you can go straight from here. But I'm interested in health. I have a child who has a health need. So then the Delhi Arogya Kosh, 5 lakh rupees, financial assistance for children with special needs, eligibility, document required, everything. All gazette notifications decoded in a language humans can understand. But I'm not interested in healthcare either. I'm interested in social protection. So some net issue. Yeah. Anyways, so it will give you social protection or travel-related concession. Yeah, some internet issue. But the point is, you can browse through all the government information in a manner that you can make sense of. And my sincerest hope, since all of us, all of you are doing incredible work, and the Honorable Minister is here as well, that we'll be able to present information in a manner citizens can make sense, in a manner citizens can access and can benefit. And while we do that, we have to make that information accessible. So because we are talking of children with special needs or people with disability, the website itself is disability friendly. So there's an audio book, and there is, for example, if somebody has, some people have trouble locating cursor. I'm one of them, so you can literally read like this. Or here goes the cursor, or whatever. Some people have dyslexia, so this is what a text to a dyslexic child looks like. So the website is then that friendly as well. Some people have trouble locating hyperlinks because they're often light blue and can easily be missed. So it highlights all hyperlinks for you, etc., etc. So the website is itself disability friendly. The reason we did this was not because we are good, we are not. The reason is because we want to demonstrate what we have been saying for many years, that the information needs to be organized better. And when we have come together to celebrate incredible people in different themes such as education, such as health, such as protection, I hope we remember that one of the biggest barriers that our citizens face, and partly, not partly actually, almost entirely government's fault, is our inability to give them information at the right time in a manner that are relevant to them. So that's one of the key governance hope that I have, that we'll re-envisage how we organize that information. Now, over to the awards. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom and enlightening us about the website.
Thank you for sharing the interventions. We would now like to invite Mr. Deepak Kumar on stage, please. He represented India in Tokyo Olympics 2020 in 10-meter men's air rifle. We all know him. Let us give a huge round of applause. At 2019 ISSF World Cup held at Munich in Germany, Mr. Deepak achieved his highest medal in the World Cup by clinching silver medal in 10-meter air rifle mixed team events. In the same year, he won a bronze medal at the Asian Shooting Championship. He was also a part of jury and played an important role. It is rightly said, I quote, "The whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows." We now move on to our next category, that is education. It's our privilege to recognize Shiksharth Trust, which is a non-profit educational organization designing and developing contextually relevant, positive childhood experiences for children coming from spaces of conflict and adverse geography. I would like to invite Mr. Ashish Srivastav on behalf of Shiksharth Trust to kindly come on stage.
A big round of applause for him. Now I'd like to invite Ms. Jaskiran Bedi, Lead Public Policy Zomato, to read the citation for Shiksharth Trust, and Mr. Ashish to please come forward.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to congratulate Shiksharth Trust for their contribution in reviving and prioritizing education under the most challenging of circumstances. Congratulations.
Yeah. My humble request to Honorable Minister Ms. Atishi to confer Children's Champion Awards on Shiksharth Trust. Louder, please. I would like to request Mr. Ashish to say a few words.
जब हम किसी बच्चे को बोलते हैं कि कुछ ड्राइंग बनाओ, तो यूजुअली हम एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं वो कोई सीनरी या कोई फूल या कुछ ऐसी अच्छी चीज़ बनाएगा। 2015 में हम एक क्लासरूम में थे सुकमा छत्तीसगढ़ में, और ऐसी बच्चों से बोला, और 53 बच्चों की क्लास में से 47 बच्चों ने एक कॉम्बैट का सीन स्केच किया था, जिसमें सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस और लोकल आदिवासियों के बीच में हिंसा चल रही थी। और then that's when we realized that before focusing on vocabulary, what we need to find is the एक जो बच्चे का जो बचपन है वो मिलना चाहिए. And for the last 11 years, we have been working for children who come from conflict and adverse geographies, and currently have been working in Sukma and Bastar region. And interestingly, although there is no official statistics, but 18 states in India are affected by some other kind of armed conflict when with children coexisting with trauma. And the fundamental question is कि अगर बच्चे ने संवेदनशीलता, प्रेम, शांति एक्सपीरियंस नहीं किया तो हम ये कैसे एक्सपेक्ट करेंगे कि वो एक रिस्पॉन्सिबली एक्टिव सिटीजन नागरिक की तरह ग्रो करेगा. So thank you DCPCR and everybody for acknowledging the cause. बहुत मेहनत लगी है इस cause को लोगों तक पहुंचाने के लिए, and this is a great platform to share about this. Thank you everyone.
Thank you so much, sir, for serving this noble cause.
It's our privilege to recognize Santulan, which was founded in 1997 as a voluntary, social, non-government organization with an integrated approach of development programs and rights-based advocacy for policy change. I would like to invite Advocate Mr. Bastu Reg, Founder Director of Santulan, to kindly come on stage.
I'd like to request Ms. Jaskiran Bedi to read the citation for Santulan, and Advocate Regi to please come forward. A big round of applause for him, everyone.
We congratulate Santulan for winning the award for their contribution in providing a life of dignity and development to the children of stone quarry workers. Congratulations.
We request Honorable Minister Atishi Ma'am to kindly confer the Children's Champion Awards on Santulan.
A big round of applause. Now I'll request Advocate Regi to please say a few words, express himself, and just let us know.
Thank you, DCPCR, for selecting Santulan. This is the recognition of all the migrant children who are living in the stone quarry section. I'm sure a lot more of you all may not know what happens in the stone quarries, really. Similarly, I also didn't know. It was an accident of a child on a major highway who was knocked down by a dumper. Dumper is a truck that carries the stones to the cities. And this is how we drew into the stone quarries in Pune. And what I saw there, or what we saw there, what probably you can imagine, the migrant labor's pathetic conditions. When you are migrant, your person belong to no land. This is how we get treated when we are migrants from various states. Pune, Bombay, Maharashtra is a very developed state. Lot more families from across India migrate to Maharashtra, especially Bombay, Pune, Kolkata, and other cities. Situation in the stone quarries, you just cannot really imagine, which I couldn't. No house, no water, no light, no market, no school, no health facilities, no record, no census. You are nowhere. You exist nowhere. Not to the politicians, not to the administrators, not to the labor, anybody. They really don't really mean. And this is a very large population across India who migrate. COVID was the worst time, what everybody had seen. For us, the matter was, 26 years back, children's future. The child's accident which drew us into the mining, will this continue for how many generations? How many generations this will go on? Doctor's son becomes doctor. Engineer's son becomes engineer. Quarry worker's child becomes a quarry worker. We need to change it. So we approached through Pashan Shala. Pashan is patthar, stone. We created a school under this tree, under the shades, anywhere where the children not going to work. Child marriages stopped. Child exploitation stopped. Just children come to the school and there we have all our activities. There was a criticism why the children cannot go to school, but we believe child-centric approach. Children not going to school, but the school should go to the children, because the mining areas are hard to reach and very far from the cities or the villages, and they have to be by the law. And thus, in 26 years of time, over 53,000 children have been brought to the school. Number of them have gone to armies, become advocates, journalists, and into corporate sector and banking sector. It's a big change, and this award absolutely goes by the DCPCR, selected for the first time, Santulan getting a government award in its last 50 awards that Santulan has received in Maharashtra. I really, salute to you all for the selection committee and committee for considering the stone quarry people and the children who were totally invisible and nowhere. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your journey with us.
Now it's our privilege to recognize Ms. Shaheen Mistry. Nearly 3 decades ago, she founded Akanksha Foundation, which today runs 21 Akanksha schools across Mumbai and Pune and impacts over 10,000 children. Because of travel, Ms. Shaheen could not join us today, and hence I invite Ms. Shivani Agarwal to come on stage and take the award on the behalf of Shaheen Mistry.
I would like to invite Ms. Neha Rekar on stage, India Lead Eden Site Selection Committee member, to read the citation for Ms. Shaheen Mistry.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. We are celebrating Shaheen today for her extraordinary contribution to improving public education in urban India.
We
Congratulations.
request Shivani Agarwal to kindly come on stage and take the award on behalf of Ms. Shaheen.
Indeed, Ms. Shaheen could not come on stage, but the rounds of applause should be so loud that they reach Shaheen ma'am there. So please put your hands together the loudest way you can.
Now, I would like to request Ms. Shivani to convey the message from Ms. Shaheen Mistry.
On behalf of Shaheen, Akanksha Foundation, and Teach for India, thank you so much for this incredible honor. I'll be speaking a little bit about Shaheen's work with Teach for India. She had this vision that investing in leadership is the true key to unlocking an India free of poverty and full of love. The work that she's done with the Akanksha Foundation and with Teach for India really is about investing leaders at different levels of the system. At Teach for India, we run a 2-year fellowship that directly transforms the lives of students in the short term. But the real movement is about fueling the entire education ecosystem with leaders at different levels of the system, because we truly believe that systems change when leaders change. And it brings me so much pride to look around the room and actually see quite a few of our alumni over here, some of whom are being recognized for their incredible work. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shivani ma'am. And thank you so much, Shaheen ma'am, for bringing alive the saying that you need to go wholeheartedly into anything in order to achieve anything worth achieving.
It's our privilege to recognize Room to Read India for its work to improve children's reading levels and life skills. Their work assumes a high degree of importance given the learning crisis in our country. I would like to request Mr. Saurav Banerjee, Country Director, to kindly come on stage.
I'd like to request Ms. Neha Rekar to again read the citation for Room to India, and Mr. Saurav Banerjee to please come forward, sir.
I've seen Room to Read in Delhi government schools, and it has really inculcated the love for reading. Thank you, sir.
We are celebrating Room to Read India for their wonderful contribution to cultivate love for reading in children by means of their library program. Congratulations.
I would like to request Honorable Minister Atishi Ma'am to confer the award on Room to Read India.
Further, I'll request Ms. Saurav sir to please say a few words, express himself.
Well, thank you, and deeply honored to receive this award. You know, Room to Read believes that world change starts with educated children, and foundation literacy and access to quality children's literature, we think sets a child for a lifelong learning journey. For us, books are both the mirrors as well as windows to the world. So, Shavtar Hashmi के शब्दों में किताबों में रॉकेट के राज है किताबों में रॉकेट का राज है, किताबों में साइंस का आवाज़ है, किताबों में एक सारी दुनिया है, एक सारे संसार है किताबों में, ज्ञान की पूरे भरमार है। किताबें कुछ कहना चाहती है, तुम्हारे पास रहना चाहती है। Thank you DCPCR for honoring us, for recognizing our efforts, and through the award I think you support us in our journey to create a more equal, just and educated society. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Saurav. We hope that you continue to work on children's educational outcomes. Our country needs people like you.
Now it is our privilege to recognize Indus Action Initiatives, which works with the mission that every vulnerable family has sustainable access to legislative rights. They primarily work on strengthening the first 2,000 days of child's life and implementation of the right to education in private schools, with particular focus on ensuring diversities of classrooms. I'd like to invite Ms. Meenu to please come on stage to receive the award on the behalf of Indus Action Initiatives. A big round of applause for her and the initiative itself.
I would like to invite Ms. Jaskiran Bedi to read the citation for Indus Action Initiatives. An ailing person expects an open hand, and a successful person expects a clapping hand. So let us clap for our bodies. Let us clap and celebrate the success.
We are recognizing Indus Action Initiative for their contribution in ensuring access to legislative rights of children from economically weaker sections and disadvantaged groups to study in private schools under right to education. Congratulations, Indus Action.
Now I'd like to request Honorable Minister Atishi Ma'am to confer Children's Champion Award on Indus Action Initiative. A big round of applause for the initiative.
They are expecting a clapping hand from you. I would like to request Ms. Meenu to say a few words.
थैंक यू DCPCR इंडस एक्शन मतलब इतने मैं पिछले 7 सालों से इंडस एक्शन के साथ काम कर रही हूँ और ये राइट्स पे करते हैं, राइट टू एजुकेशन के लिए अदर स्टेट्स में भी काम कर रहे हैं और दिल्ली में जितने भी मतलब इतनी फैमिलियों के साथ जुड़े हैं और ऐसे ऐसे केसेस देखे हैं जिनमें बच्चों को एडमिशन स्कूल्स नहीं देते और DCPC की हेल्प से और इंडस एक्शन के सपोर्ट से हमने उन बच्चों को एडमिशन दिलाया है. थैंक यू.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll hope you continue to do the good work for ensuring diversity in schools and enhancing life experiences of every child.
We express our gratitude to Mr. Rajesh Kumar Sharma for his incredible work in running educational programs beneath a metro bridge in Yamuna Bank area. I would like to invite Mr. Rajesh Kumar Sharma to come on stage.
I'd like to invite Mr. Prateek Rajurkar, co-founder Solokul, to read the citation for Mr. Rajesh.
So when we see people like Rajesh Kumar sir, we can understand that you go beyond your limits. What matters is your passion.
Shri Rajesh Kumar Sharma for providing additional educational support to children from under-resourced backgrounds. Congratulations.
We would like to request Honorable Minister Atishi Ma'am to confer the award on Mr. Rajesh Kumar.
Further, I'd request Rajesh sir to please share his experiences.
नमस्कार आप सब लोगों को. मैं दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट के साथ जुड़ कर के एक एजुकेशन पर काम करता हूं. सन 2006 से जो है गरीब बच्चों के साथ झुग्गी झुग्गियों में जाकर के बच्चों को लेकर के आकर के अपने एक फ्लाईओवर के नीचे बैठा करके 2 शिफ्ट में जो है स्कूल को चलाता हूं और 250 बच्चे मेरे पास में होते हैं. जो भी बच्चे मेरे यहाँ से एजुकेशन लेकर के जाते हैं दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट के स्कूल में जाकर के उनको जो है भर्ती कराता हूं और स्कूलों में जाकर के मेरे से कहते हैं कोई सर्टिफिकेट NGO सोसाइटी ट्रस्ट है तो उसका जो है सर्टिफिकेट दो, लेकिन मेरे बच्चे ही जो है उनकी योग्यता ही उनका सर्टिफिकेट होता है और बच्चे के देख करके किसी भी दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट के स्कूल में मेरे बच्चों का एडमिशन जो है बड़ी आराम से हो जाता है और बच्चे जो है पढ़ करके अपना रास्ता पकड़ रहे हैं। कोविड में भी हम लोगों ने बहुत सारा काम किया था, क्योंकि घर से नहीं निकलते थे, लेकिन फिर भी दिल्ली पुलिस वगैरह जो हमारे साथ में थी, हम घर से खाना बना करके लेकर के आते थे और उन गरीब लोगों के लिए वहाँ पर जा करके उस खाने को देते थे। दिल्ली पुलिस का भी इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा योगदान है और यहाँ पर जो है मैं इनका टीम को सिलेक्शन करने वालों को बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ कि ऐसी जगह भी जा कर के वो चुन चुन करके हीरों को जो है ढूंढ करके लेकर के आते हैं और उनको जो है इस योग्य समझते हैं कि हकीकत में समाज में इन्होंने एक अच्छा काम किया है। थैंक यू।
थैंक यू राजेश सर, आप हमारे लिए प्रेरणा स्रोत हैं।
Now again, it's our privilege to recognize Vidya Gyan, designed to provide high-quality education to students from under-resourced backgrounds and transform them into future leaders. I'd like to request Ms. Roshni Nadar Malhotra to please come on stage. A big round of applause for her.
I would like to invite Mr. Prateek, jury member, to read the citation for Vidya Gyan.
Vidya Gyan for identifying and nurturing students from underprivileged rural backgrounds into future leaders through high quality education. Congratulations.
And I'd like to request Honorable Minister Atishi Ma'am to kindly confer the Children's Champion Award on Vidya Gyan. A big round of applause for Vidya Gyan.
I would like to request Ms. Roshni to say a few words.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister, dignitaries on the stage, this amazing audience and other winners. I'm embarrassed to be here. I am not a teacher or an educator. I am here on behalf of the Vidya Gyan leadership, the teachers, the Shiv Nadar Foundation. None of them could be here today because we have our admissions going on. So all the teachers and all our leadership is everywhere. You know, we started Vidya Gyan 12 years ago, and it's a social experiment. It was a residential school, boarding school in Bulandshahr as well as Sitapur. And in 12 years, all I can say is we have 51% girls, 49% boys, and we've had less than 10 dropouts. So I don't believe that there is no parent who wants to give equal rights in education to their girls as well as their boys. And I'm just so humbled to be here. Thank you so much. And all I can say is that through Vidya Gyan, you know, we want to give children role models which are children. Not us in this room, not the adults, but children need role models, and those role models should be children. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Roshni. I think our nation requires more of such Vidya Gyans.
Moving on to our next category, that is business. It's our privilege to recognize Ms. Ankita Gulati. She is the founder of Touch Vision, an inclusive design and technology enterprise aiming to empower people with different abilities to learn and thrive in an inclusive world. I would like to request Ms. Ankita Gulati to come on stage, please.
Allow me to request Mr. Deepak to read the citation for Ms. Ankita, and Ms. Ankita, please come forward. A big round of applause for Ms. Ankita.
Ms. Ankita Gulati for her innovative work towards accelerating the social inclusion of children with visual impairment. Congratulations, Ms.
We would
Ankita
like to
Gulati.
request Honorable Minister Atishi Ma'am to confer Children's Champion Award on Ms. Ankita Gulati. We request Ms. Ankita to say a few words.
Thank you so much, DCPRCR, for the honor. Thank you to all of you for being here to celebrate and support the path-breaking work of Children's Champions. All of us need this motivation, and it's a great honor to continue doing what we do. It's a great privilege for me to work with children with special needs at the ground. I stumbled randomly upon few children with visual disabilities during my master's and realized that our social construct does not allow them to pursue their own interests. We have defined possibilities for them which prevent them to follow their own calling. After 9 years, I can say that children with visual disabilities are not only accessing their textbooks and learning material, but they are wondering which storybook to read next. And that definitely calls for a celebration for us. Let's celebrate the glory and pride of children's choices and their freedom, the choice to be educated, the choice to lead a dignified and a good life, and the choice to be themselves, the freedom to be themselves and to dream. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Ankita. We hope you continue empowering people and making the world inclusive in true sense. Children inspire us so much. They constantly show us how beautiful and amazing the simplest things in life can be. Moving towards our next category, that is children.
Well, it's children's category and no one can take the honor to please welcome. It is our privilege to recognize Balak Nama. It's a newspaper inspiringly run by children in street situations. I'd like to invite Mr. Sanjay Gupta, Director of Chetna NGO and Balak Nama, to please come on stage along with the editors and reporter of Balak Nama, Zubaita, Ansel Gautam, Sangeeta Gautam, Prince, Supriya, and Kishan Rathore.
I would like to invite Mr. Anshu Gupta to read the citation for Balak Nama team.
तो आई थिंक हम सभी लोगों के लिए ये सबसे इंटरेस्टिंग कैटेगरी थी बिकॉज इट्स अबाउट चिल्ड्रन फॉर चिल्ड्रन इफ यू सी इन दैट जस्ट अ सिंगल लाइन फॉर देम राइट नाउ बालक नामा फॉर देयर इंस्पायरिंग एंड एजुकेशनल monthly newsletter being run by street and working children, and you all can see that today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I request Atishi ma'am to please confer the Children's Champion Award on Balak Nama.
This deserves a huge round of applause. Our little champions, they inspire us so much.
Our children can achieve great things if they had high expectations.
Thank you, children, for your inspiration. What a great moment. I request someone on behalf of Balak Nama team to say a few words.
सबको नमस्ते। मेरा नाम किशन है और बालक नामा का एडिटर हूँ। सबसे पहले मैं बाल कल्याण आयोग को धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ कि उनने बालक नामा को उत्साहित किया और काफ़ी खुशी है कि आज हम यहाँ पे खड़े हैं। और मैं आंचल को अनुरोध करूंगा कि वह बालक नामा के बारे में थोड़ी जानकारी दे। थैंक यू।
सबसे पहले नमस्ते सभी को। मेरा नाम है आंचल, मैं लखनऊ से आई हूँ और मैं बालक नामा की रिपोर्टर हूँ। बालक नामा बच्चों का अखबार है, सड़क एवं कामकाजी बच्चों का अखबार है। इस अखबार में सिर्फ और सिर्फ सड़क एवं कामकाजी बच्चों की ही समस्या आती हैं। इसकी शुरुआत सन 2003 में हुई थी और इसका 8000 पेज छपते हैं, जिसमें से 3000 इंग्लिश के होते हैं और 5000 हिंदी में होते हैं। और आप सभी से मेरा ये अनुरोध है कि आप लोग इसको पढ़िए। ये इंस्टाग्राम पे, फेसबुक पे भी उपलब्ध है।
Thank you so much.
आप सभी से निवेदन है कि इसको पढ़िए और ज़रूरतमंद बच्चों की मदद कीजिए। थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, Team Balak Nama. It is indeed inspiring to see children of this tender age take on such far-reaching goals.
It's our privilege to recognize Miss Muskan Ahirwar, the little librarian in a slum of Bhopal. While children of her age were busy playing, she was working on strengthening the foundational skills of children of her slum and slums nearby, Currently, her library has over 100 children as members and over 1,000 books. I would like Muskan.
Now I'd like to invite Ms. Neha Rekar ma'am to kindly read the citation for Muskan.
Hello again. We are celebrating Muskan Ahirwar for her amazing efforts towards improving the foundational learning among children in her slum area. Congratulations.
We would like to request Honorable Minister Atishi ma'am to confer Children's Champion Award on Muskan Ahirwar. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for this little librarian. She has transformed the lives of many.
Further, I'll request Muskan to please share her feelings, anything you want to share with us.
नमस्ते सभी को मैं मुस्कान अहिरवार थैंक यू सो मच DCPCR एंड कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन किताबी भी मस्ती ये मेरी लाइब्रेरी का नाम है मैं मध्य प्रदेश भोपाल से आई हूँ एंड वहाँ अपने इस्लाम एरिया दुर्गानगर में एक छोटी सी लाइब्रेरी चलाती हूँ जो बच्चे बहुत मस्ती करते हैं खेलते हैं और मैं ये 2016 से चला रही हूँ जब मैं 9 वर्ष की थी और मैंने ये 200 किताबों से स्टार्ट किया था और आज करीबन 1000 नहीं मैम 3000 हमारी लाइब्रेरी में बुक्स अवेलेबल हैं और मतलब रोज़ाना हमारी लाइब्रेरी में 30 से 40 बच्चे पढ़ने आते हैं थैंक यू सो मच सभी का
Thank you, dear Muskan, for updating us with 3,000 books in your library. We hope you continue to do the good work.
Now it's our privilege to recognize Harsh, a student of Delhi Government School who is a manufacturer of organic compost which is multi-purpose and can be used in all types of plants, and this compost is manufactured by decomposing the abandoned wet waste which Harsh and his team collects from the neighborhood and the marketplace. I would like to request Harsh to please come forward.
I would like to request Ms. Neha Rekar to kindly read the citation for Harsh.
We are celebrating Harsh for his entrepreneurial idea of creating organic compost using the abandoned wet waste. Congrats.
Now I'd like to request Honorable Minister Ms. Atishi to please confer the Children's Champion Award on Harsh. A big round of applause for Harsh.
Request Harsh to say a few words.
Well, it has been a 3-year journey for me, and I remember when I was really young, the first thing
You are young.
yeah, I'm still young, not that mature, but yeah. The first thing which fascinated me the most, which I discovered in this world, was a mushroom in a park. And I feel glad that I'm working in a field in protecting and sustaining the environment for the children of the future generation, that they can also get that fascination from the environment and from the surrounding by having that beautiful nature which is sustained to them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harsh. We hope you'll continue with your environment-friendly practices.
It's our privilege to recognize Ansh Verma, who is a Delhi government school student who has come up with a low-cost model of computer. The biggest impact of his innovation has been on students' development and welfare. His innovation has helped students improve their academic performance, which in turn has boosted their confidence. We would like to request Ansh to come on stage, please.
And now I'd like to request Mr. Anshu Gupta, jury member, to read the citation for Ansh, and request Ansh to please come forward.
I think bigger citation is already done, but just a single line in his honor. Ansh Verma for his idea of creating low-cost computers for children from difficult economic backgrounds. Badaiyan.
We request Honorable Minister Atishi ma'am to kindly do the honors.
Further now, I'll request our young technocrat, Ansh, to please say a few words.
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल थैंक्स अ लॉट फॉर दिस अवार्ड एंड जैसे हम लोग मतलब जब एजुकेशन की लाइन में देखते हैं तो हम लोग कहते हैं कि टेक्नोलॉजी की वजह से कितना ज़्यादा मतलब इजी हो गया हर इंसान को एजुकेशन एक्सेस करने के लिए बट द थिंग इज़ जो लोग एक्चुअली में टेक्नोलॉजी एक्सेस नहीं कर पा रहे उनके लिए तो मतलब वाइडनिंग गैप हो गया है इन एजुकेशन जिसकी वजह से मैंने मतलब एक ऐसा ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम बनाया जिसको हम लोग मतलब किसी भी कंप्यूटर के अंदर डालते हैं तो वो इजीली मतलब पुराने से पुराना कंप्यूटर भी यूजेबल स्पीड में आ जाता है और काफ़ी अच्छी स्पीड हो जाती है उसकी सो जो लोग मतलब मतलब थोड़े लोअर इकोनॉमिक बैकग्राउंड से आते हैं वो लोग भी कंप्यूटर्स को एक्सेस कर सकते हैं एंड उसकी वजह से वो अपनी एजुकेशन है उसको एक न्यू हाइट्स पे अचीव कर सकते हैं थैंक यू
Thank you, Ansh, to make digital education accessible for all.
Now we will take this opportunity to celebrate the incredible work of Raghvendra Om Prakash Yadav, who collaborated with his classmates to start an initiative called the 100 Women Project, in which they published stories on empowering women and generating self-help groups for a grand total of 100 women. I would request Shri Om Prakash Yadav, father of Raghvendra Om Prakash, to please come on stage as Raghvendra is in Canada pursuing his education.
I would like to invite Mr. Deepak Kumar, sir, to kindly read the citation for Raghvendra.
मैं बहुत बहुत बधाई देना चाहूँगा मिस्टर राघवेंद्र को उन्होंने जो भी लीडरशिप में कार्य किए हैं वो भी बड़े ही सराहनीय हैं और भविष्य में भी वो इसी प्रकार के कार्य करते रहें यही शुभकामनाएं हमारी सभी की तरफ से उनके लिए हैं आपको बहुत बहुत अगेन शुभकामनाएं
I would like to request Atishi ma'am to please confer the Children's Champion Award on Raghvendra.
Such a proud moment for the parents collecting award on behalf of their child. Please give a huge round of applause for Raghvendra for making his parents proud.
Raghvendra is not with us, but he is glad to meet Raghvendra in Canada there.
Raghvendra couldn't join in, but he has sent us the video. Let us hear what he has to say.
I'm very grateful to receive the All India Children Champions Award by Delhi Commission for Protection of Child Rights.
मेरा बच्चा बीएमसी स्कूल में पढ़ता था बोलता था मम्मी मैं तो विदेश में पढ़ाई करूँगा मैं हंसती और बोलती बेटा क्या बात करते हो हमारे पास तो 2 रुपये का रूल खरीदने का पैसा नहीं है तुम विदेश का बात करते हो बोलता देखना मम्मी मैं विदेश जाऊँगा आज राघवेंद्र पीएनएल कॉलेज कनाडा में पढ़ रहा है अभी अमेरिका में उसका सिलेक्शन हुआ
Such a beautiful moment for the proud parents. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Very grateful to receive the All India Children Champions Award by Delhi Commission for Protection of Child Rights. I am very deeply grateful that DC PCR is celebrating children across India for doing good work, and I think it is extremely important. Coming from the slums of Mumbai, I have seen what it's like to live without no education, no food, and no basic child rights. But this award hopefully will inspire many children within many slums across India to dream big and hopefully to dream better for their own country. And I am committed to supporting many children in my life as I pursue my future goals. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Raghvendra Bhaiya, for doing the incredible work. We wish you the best of luck, and we hope that you'll continue to serve our nation the way you are.
Moving on to our next interesting category, that is sports. We would like to celebrate the prolific work of Ant Hill Creations, which is a team of architects from IIT Kharagpur who aim to bring back play in the lives of children by making play accessible to millions of kids. I would like to invite Ms. Shweta Manivanan on stage to receive the award on behalf of the institution.
And I'd like to request Atishi ma'am
I request Mr. Deepak Kumar sir to kindly read the citation for Ms. Shweta.
एंटिल क्रिएशंस जब हम इनका सिलेक्शन प्रोसेसर में थे तो उस समय पर बहुत सारे ऐसे क्वेश्चंस हमारे सामने आए कि किस प्रकार से किसी ऐसे संस्था को चुनाव किया जाए जो कि समाज में अनेकों बच्चों के साथ में ऐसा कुछ कार्य कर रहे हैं जो कि अंडर सर्व्ड कैटेगरी में आते हैं और असुरक्षित महसूस करते हैं। तो जो भी दीपक गुप्ता सर थे और सभी ने हमने मिलकर के एंटिल क्रिएशंस को चुनावित किया और यहाँ पर मैं उनको शुभकामनाएं देना चाहूँगा कि वो अपना अवार्ड यहाँ पर लें। बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं।
Now I'd like to request Atishi ma'am to confer the Children's Champion Award on our awardee. A big round of applause for him.
I would like to request Ms. Shweta to say a few words.
Firstly, thank you to DCPCR for this recognition. I think this, to be honored amongst the remaining awardees, is just a testament to say how important play is for children. And having this recognized by the government is just that much more push, and for all of us to work towards ensuring children have access to play, which is the base of any early childhood development. So thank you so much, and this is for the entire team that has ever been part of Anthill, and hope we can just scale our impact. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shweta ma'am. Our sports freak children really need you.
It's our privilege to honor Mr. Mahadev Shinde, who has been working in the field of special education since 1996. He has reformed special education in a very innovative way, which fulfills individual differences, disabilities, and special needs. His teaching process involves the individually planned and systematically monitored arrangement of teaching procedures, adapted equipment, materials, and accessible settings. We would like to invite Mr. Shinde to come on stage, please. And we would request Mr. Deepak Kumar to read the citation for Mr. Shinde.
Mahadev Shinde, for his notable efforts in using sports-based learning for children with special needs. इनके बारे में मैं स्पेशल बात कहना चाहूँगा कि शायद इनको याद ना हो, सन 2000 में मेरा इनके इंस्टीट्यूट में जाना हुआ और उस समय मैं गुरुकुल में पढ़ा करता था। अभी शायद शिंदे सर को याद ना होगा, बट एक ओलंपिक तक की जर्नी के लिए जो इन्होंने अनेकों बच्चों के लिए ऐसी व्यवस्थाएं वहाँ पर की हैं वे बड़े ही सराहनीय हैं। मैं उनको अनेकों शुभकामनाएं देना चाहूँगा और भविष्य में मेरे जैसे ही अनेकों ऐसे ओलंपियंस इस स्टेज पर आएँ और इस भारत का नाम रोशन करें। अनेकों शुभकामनाएं। इन शब्दों के साथ वाणी को विराम दूंगा।
Now I'd like to request Honorable Minister Ms. Atishi to please do the honors. Now I'll request Mr. Shinde to please say a few words.
नमस्कार, मैं महादेव शिंदे, विषय शिक्षक गोवा राज्य। ये हमारा सौभाग्य है कि आज हमारे संघर्ष को सम्मानित किया जा रहा है। इस सम्मान का महत्व ये है कि ये सम्मान हमारे लिए उत्तेजना, औरों के लिए प्रेरणा और परिवार में चेतना जरूर लाएगी। हम सब की प्रतिभाओं को पहचान कर इस पुरस्कार के लिए योग्य समझा, इसलिए हम बेहद सम्मानित महसूस कर रहे हैं। हमारे रिश्तेदार हमारे साथ जुड़कर इस अवसर पर बड़ी सफलता के रूप में यादगार बना दिया, इसलिए उनका ही धन्यवाद। हम इस DCPCR संगठन के प्रयासों की प्रशंसा करते हैं और साथ ही संगठन को धन्यवाद भी देते हैं और अपनी वाणी को विराम कर देते हैं। जय हिंद।
Thank you so much, sir, for reforming special education and creating difference in many lives.
Well, this marks the end of the category of sports. Now I'd like to invite Honorable Minister Ms. Atishi ma'am to address the gathering.
Let us welcome ma'am with a huge round of applause.
Chairperson DCPCR, Anshu Gupta ji, Deepak ji. And today the dignitaries are not just sitting on the dais, the entire hall is full of dignitaries today. So good afternoon to all of you. I think we are past 12 noon now. First of all, many, many, many congratulations to DCPCR for organizing this Children's Awards. And I think that this is a very unique initiative that DCPCR has taken. And one of the many, many initiatives that DCPCR is taking to really become the voice of children. अक्सर हमने देखा है कि बहुत सारे लोग अलग अलग जैसे इंटरेस्ट ग्रुप्स होते हैं, कोई महिलाओं के लिए, कोई आदिवासियों के लिए, कोई दलितों के लिए, लेकिन बहुत कम लोग होते हैं जो बच्चों की आवाज़ बन पाते हैं, और सरकारी सिस्टम में तो और भी कम होते हैं. और इसके लिए मैं खास करके DCPCR को बधाई देना चाहूँगी कि पिछले कुछ सालों में जो तरह तरह के इनिशिएटिव्स उन्होंने किए हैं कि वो देश भर के और दिल्ली भर के बच्चों की आवाज़ बन पाए हैं, उसके लिए DCPCR को बहुत बहुत बधाई, बहुत बहुत मुबारकबाद. ये जो अवार्ड्स भी आज DCPCR ने दिए हैं, मुझे लगता है ये अवार्ड्स बहुत महत्वपूर्ण हैं, क्योंकि जो अलग अलग लोग देश के अलग अलग हिस्सों में बच्चों के लिए काम कर रहे हैं, समाज के लिए काम कर रहे हैं, जिसे हम कहते हैं कि जो रोड लेस ट्रैवल्ड पे चल रहे हैं, ये जो रोड लेस ट्रैवल्ड होती है ये बहुत कठिन सड़क होती है, क्योंकि होता क्या है कि सबके परिवारों में ऐसे लोग होते हैं जो इंजीनियरिंग कर रहे होते हैं, डॉक्टर होते हैं, वकील होते हैं, और आप 40, 50, 60 साल की भी उम्र पे पहुंच जाइए और ऐसा कुछ काम अगर आप कर रहे हो तो आपके घर वाले, परिवार वाले आपसे ज़रूर पूछते रहते हैं इस उम्र पे भी कोई नॉर्मल चीज़ कर लो, किसी अच्छे करियर में चले जाओ, थोड़े और पैसे कमा लो. और ये काम करते हुए संघर्ष का भी बहुत सामना करना पड़ता है, और अक्सर ऐसा भाव होता है कि दिन ख़त्म होता है तो लगता है कि आप दीवार से सिर मार मार के दीवार को हिला लोगे, लेकिन इस सिस्टम को चेंज कर पाना बहुत मुश्किल है. और मुझे लगता है कि जो लोग इस संघर्ष से गुजर रहे हैं उनको ऐसे अवार्ड से रिकग्नाइज करना, ऑनर करना बिल्कुल उनकी एनर्जी बढ़ा देता है, ग्लूकॉन डी का काम करता है कि वो फिर और लंबे समय तक कुछ एनर्जी के साथ और एंथुजियाज्म के साथ अपने लंबे सफ़र पे चलते रह सकते हैं. बट आई थिंक सबसे मज़ेदार जो आज की कैटेगरी थी वो चिल्ड्रंस अवार्ड की थी, और सबसे इंटरेस्टिंग ये लगा कि एक बालक जो शायद हमसे आधी या उससे कम उम्र का होगा कहता है कि जब मैं छोटा था तो मैं ये सोचा करता था. बट आई थिंक दैट इट वाज रियली इंस्पायरिंग टू सी सो मेनी चिल्ड्रन जो खुद शायद एक मुश्किल परिस्थिति से आते हैं, चाहे वो बालकनामा निकालने वाले हमारे रिपोर्टर्स और एडिटर्स हों, चाहे धारावी की स्लम से एक बच्चा जो वहाँ पे महिलाओं के साथ काम करता हो, चाहे एक लड़की जो 9 साल की उम्र से अपनी स्लम में एक लाइब्रेरी चला रही हो. मुझे लगता है इससे प्रेरणादायक कुछ नहीं हो सकता कि खुद एक बच्चा जो एक मुश्किल परिस्थिति में हो, सिर्फ अपने बारे में ना सोचकर, और ख़ास करके एक ऐसे दौर में जब हम अपने परिवार के बच्चों को देखते हैं तो कभी नया फ़ोन, नए कपड़े, नए जूते, मतलब इतने में सिमट कर अक्सर बच्चों की ज़िंदगी रह जाती है. और एक ऐसी दुनिया में जहाँ पे हर तरफ से बच्चों पे इस चीज़ का बम्बार्डमेंट हो रहा है, उसमें कुछ ऐसे बच्चे हैं जिन्होंने सिर्फ अपने बारे में नहीं सोचा बल्कि अपनी कम्युनिटी के बारे में सोचा, अपने समाज के बारे में सोचा. मुझे लगता है इससे प्रेरणादायक कुछ नहीं हो सकता. खास करके उन सारे बच्चों को बहुत बहुत बधाई जिनको आज अवार्ड मिला है, और उन बच्चों को भी जिनको अवार्ड नहीं मिला लेकिन अपने कम्युनिटी में, अपने शहर में, अपने गांव में जो और बच्चों के लिए और अपने समाज के लिए काम कर रहे हैं, उनको बहुत बहुत बधाई, बहुत बहुत मुबारकबाद. और एक बार फिर मैं DCPCR को कंग्रेचुलेट करना चाहूँगी इस शानदार पहल के लिए, और ना सिर्फ इस शानदार पहल के लिए पर जो बच्चों के बिहाफ पे वो इस शहर में, इस देश में काम करते हैं उसके लिए. थैंक यू.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for enlightening us. It is rightly said that let the child be the script writer, director, and actor in his own play. We are indeed privileged to have amongst us Honorable Dr. Justice S. Murlidhar, Chief Justice of Odisha. Before that, we would like to thank ma'am for her gracious presence and for sparing her valuable time to be with us. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a special clap to ma'am.
Clap to her,
Special
please.
clap. Thank you so much, ma'am. Your presence always motivates and inspires us. Today, our children have really inspired us. They have shown us the way that it doesn't matter of what age you are, you can do whatever you want. If
You can
you
always
really
make a difference.
Yes, you can always make a difference in others' lives.
Indeed, it's rightly said, you're never too small to make a difference.
It's our privilege and honor to have Honorable Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, Chief Justice of Odisha, to be on stage. I will take this moment to invite Shri Bharat Parashar, Principal Secretary Law, Dr. Shuchin Bajaj, Founder Ujjwala Cygnus Hospital, and Ms. Nidhi Dwivedi, Member DCPCR, to come on stage. I would like to request Mr. Shreyan Srivastav to felicitate Honorable Justice Sir. Let us welcome, sir, with a huge round of applause, Shreyan Srivastav to felicitate Honorable Justice Sir.
A big round of applause.
These paintings are made by our students only, so we can again clap for our students.
A creative student.
We would now like to invite Mr. Anurag Kundu, Chairperson DCPCR, for a presentation.
Sir, if I may, and there are various ways of introducing different people. And judges are expected to write judgments. And Honorable Justice Muralidhar, as a judge, has also written judgments. To that extent, there is nothing extraordinary. However, there are a few things, there are a few judgments that some judges write that change the course of the history, that restore dignity. The judgments authored by Honorable Justice S. Muralidhar in 2009, the Delhi High Court, when he said in 2009 that Section 377, insofar as it relates to consenting adults, any sexual activity between consenting adults, regardless of the gender, is unconstitutional. So some judges write judgments which restore dignity, and your judgments, sir, restore dignity to hundreds and thousands of individuals. Some judges, through their judgments, restore faith in the very process of democracy, in the very process that our civil liberty is protected against the might of the state. And many of your judgments, sir, reflect that thinking, that assurance to every citizen that my civil liberties, no matter the might of the state, remain protected. And thank you very much, sir, for being that judge, for authoring through your words the unimaginable impact in how the citizens feel, live, are able to pursue their life. So thank you very much. And I could not have thought of a better way of introducing you, sir. As far as the factual facts are concerned of which year and which college sir is from, you may please Google. But that, to me, remains the most important introduction of Honorable Justice Dr. S. Muralidhar. And thank you very much. And in that sense, we could not have found a person more fitting and more suitable to recognize the next categories, particularly the category, for example, of academics, who use their written word to influence how the story of different people are written. For example, the category of child protection, which steadfastly says that the rights of the children shall remain protected and let the heavens fall. So we could not have found a more suitable guest, sir, to recognize and honor the outstanding work done by these individuals. I will, at the cost of perhaps repetition, highlight two works that we have tried to do in these specific themes, sir. Do we have a presentation? Okay, it's already there. Oh, I will quickly skip, sir. So the old adage of what gets measured gets done. In fact, what gets monitored gets done. So when the COVID struck and the lockdown was imposed, we quickly got worried about children who are under 6 years, the women who were pregnant and lactating at that point in time. And the nutritional supplements, as distributed through Anganwadis, became a cause of our worry. And we found in our first survey that we undertook at the height of the first lockdown that only 23% of such women pregnant and lactating and children under 6 years were receiving the nutrition supplements. Now this, more than the medical disaster that COVID eventually turned out to be, is itself a disaster if we can't support our children, our pregnant women, our lactating mothers with basic nutrition supplements. So we started monitoring, and we started, in a not very nice way, breathing down the neck of those responsible for ensuring nutrition supplements for all children. And in those 2 years, as the monitoring began, we moved from 23% to 53%, to 62, to 85, and eventually, in 2 years' time period, sir, we could achieve 92% of the nutrition supplements actually being delivered, being received to those pregnant women, to those lactating mothers, to those children aged 6 years or below. And this was crucial because typically when we say child rights or when we say Commission for Protection of Child Rights, we tend to relate it or interpret protection as a physical protection, as a mental protection, as a sexual protection. But my ability to be, or my ability to live a dignified life is dependent on my nutritional supplements, is dependent on my nourishment, is dependent on my good health. And that the UNCRC, which confers power under the definition of child rights in the CPCR statutes, gives us the responsibility. So we wanted to expand the scope of and re-envisage what child rights actually means for children in practice. And that's what, when we took the cause. The second, so this is, I mean, quite a simple thing. We found that if I have to only track the well-being of 4 children who are in need of care and protection, children who are victims of sexual violence, children who are victims of parental death, for example, tracking the well-being of 4 children is fairly easy. I can do that manually. Tracking the well-being of 40 children is also not tough. I can still do it manually. Tracking the well-being of 400 children is problematic if I have to do it manually. I, even with my best intentions, best heart, and best competence, would start to be impaired in my ability. But if I have to track the well-being and ensure the well-being of 4,000 and 40,000, it's humanly impossible. And that's where we have built an MIS. It's supposed to be launched next month. So starting next month, we will have a dedicated end-to-end MIS for all children who have ever been victim of any violence and track their well-being, sir. And lastly, sir, the children who are out on the streets. Delhi, unfortunately, and it's not unfortunate for Delhi, but it's unfortunate that for children who are in street situation, Delhi, depending on which study you want to believe in, has anywhere between 50 to 70,000 children in street situation. Be that as it may, I don't know, quarrel or quibble over the number. The point and the bottom line remains incredibly high and acceptable number of children are out on the streets, leaving them vulnerable to malnourishment, to lack of education, to violence against them, none of which is acceptable. So we've started a project in which we broadly do 4 things, sir. The first, we try and identify these children and get them identity documents. And identity documents' importance can't be understated because it makes them exist in the eyes of state. And the moment they start exist in the eyes of state, then the rest of the assistance and the concessions and the policies and the entitlements start to trickle in. The second thing that we do is of course, enrollment and then driving learning outcomes, especially reading. The third is we track their early childhood outcomes for children applicable. And lastly, we try and enroll them for different government schemes. So one of the most important and often ignored function that the Commission has is a function of inquiries. And we've undertaken a few inquiries. For example, our statute explicitly says that we should inquire into violation of any child rights, and our child rights definition is extremely broad and relates to UNCRC. So one of the inquiries that we undertook was the question of the surgery, the sex change surgeries on infants being done rampantly across the country. So based on a petition filed with us, we started inquiry, and we've recommended to the Delhi government to place a ban on any intersex surgeries on infants, except when a medical board says it's important for the children to undergo such surgery. The other inquiry that we undertook was the children whose parents are incarcerated. This is a lot very easy to ignore. I mean, we have to do nothing to ignore them. Rather, we have to do something to bring focus on them. There are almost about 100 plus children whose both parents are right now incarcerated as I speak. So what's happening to those children? So that's the other inquiry that we undertook, and we found, very politely put, things incredibly lacking, and I'm being extremely polite on that count. The third big inquiry that we undertook was on the Delhi police. I know everybody is scared of Delhi police, well, so am I, but the statute wanted us to inquire, so we did. So the first thing that we noticed was that the order issued by the Commissioner of Police says that children aged 3 to 8, if they're missing for more than 4 months, then a specialized crime branch will try and trace these children. The problem was, it was in the teeth of the statute. The statute says where a child cannot be traced. So a child under 3 and plus 8 is also a child. So clearly the standing order issued by the Commissioner of Police is in the teeth of a statute, clearly. Anyway, long story cut short, I will skip the parts, not so nice parts that happened in the background. Eventually, DCPCR 1, Delhi Police 0. They have changed the standing order a few months ago. And lastly, one of the inquiries we undertook, and the reason it's important is because it's quite widely present across our country. Very often schools very casually and very recklessly and quite apathetically not maintaining records, having disastrous consequences on children. In this instance, a child was marked absent while he appeared in the exam, and marked absent as CBSE declared the child as fail. The problem was the record was wrong. The child was present on the day and did appear in the exam. That was the problem. And the child faced such trauma when the result came and he was declared as fail, that I remember a letter receiving in my dark pad which says, I'm going to commit suicide if you don't do anything. And then we started doing something. Within a few months, we not only ensured, we again harassed CBSE also and got the records updated and got the child to be declared as pass. Not only was the child actually passing the exam, he had done pretty well in the exam actually when he was marked absent. More importantly, we imposed penalty on the education department of 1 lakh rupees and said, give this child 1 lakh rupees as compensation. The child got the amount in his account and used that to quickly catch up on the 6 months that he had lost of the remedial education, because 11th and 12th can be very crucial for the rest of the career as well. I'm really happy that the child very thoughtfully and the family very thoughtfully used that amount, and thus setting a precedent that you can't be casual, you can't be reckless, you can't be apathetic when it comes to children's issues, and if you do, you will have to pay the price. We also told the Delhi government to record such a thing in the performance appraisal on the service books of the teachers, and it was done. Lastly, and most shockingly, the Juvenile Justice Board, in a majority verdict, gave a bail to a child in conflict with law. Surprisingly, the child was not released. And imagine, not 10 days from the bail, not 20 days from the bail, not 30 days from the bail, not 40 days, 57 days the child was in detention after the bail had been given. Eventually, because the bail had been a lawful order from the Juvenile Justice Board by majority existed of giving this child a bail, and yet the child was in detention, we moved a habeas corpus. And it set the precedent of that the order has to be complied within 24 hours, and the High Court ordered the release of the child from the detention and literally gave, like, you have 2 hours. That's what the High Court judge said. You have 2 hours, release the child right away. And the child was released. The reason I said this is because inquiries can be powerful. Inquiries can be powerful in terms of unearthing the truth. The inquiries can be powerful in shedding sunlight. And sunlight is the most powerful disinfectant, not any of our other alcoholic solutions. And that sunlight becomes crucial. And as we shed sunlight in celebration of the incredible work that many of you, or so many of you have done, it also needs to shed the sunlight on the fact that much more needs to be done still. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, sir, for the astonishing glimpses.
In the words of Nelson Mandela, I quote, "Let us reach out to the children. Let us do whatever we can to support their fight to rise above their pain and suffering," unquote. With this line, let me introduce the 9th category, that is the Child Protection Awards by Honorable Justice S. Muralidhar, Chief Justice of Odisha High Court, and we request her, sir, to award the winners. We would like to invite Mr. Bharat Parashar, Principal Secretary Law, to read the citations for the awardees under the category of child protection.
It is indeed our privilege to honor Ms. Kirti Bharti, founder of Sarthi Trust, that has made history in annulling the first ever child marriage in India in 2012. Also recognized by the Limca Book of Records in their special edition of 2023, I would like to invite Ms. Kirti Bharti on stage and request Bharat sir to read the citation for ma'am.
Good afternoon. It's an honor to introduce wonderful people who have done inspiring work for wide spectrum of child rights. So here is Kriti Bharti for her wonderful work towards rescue and rehabilitation of child marriage victims. Congratulations.
We would like to request Honorable Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, sir, to confer the Children's Champion Award to Ms. Kriti.
And there is round of applause for ma'am. As the tradition is, I would request Ms. Kriti to say a few words.
खम्मा घड़ी सा राजस्थान से हूँ तो वहाँ का कल्चर, वहाँ का कलर लाना बहुत ज़रूरी है। आप सभी को नमस्कार। ऑनरेबल जस्टिस एस मुरलीधर सर, अनुराग कुंदू सर एंड रिस्पेक्टेड ऑल द डिग्नेटरीज, और आप सभी साथियों को मेरा नमस्कार। मैं भारत की बेटी डॉक्टर कृति भारती आप सभी को नमस्कार करती हूँ। सबसे पहले DCPCR को ढेर सारा आभार एवं धन्यवाद कि आज उन्होंने हमारी बाल विवाह निरस्त की इस मुहिम को चिल्ड्रंस चैम्पियन अवार्ड के से सम्मानित किया है, क्योंकि आज ये अवार्ड केवल मैं रिसीव नहीं कर रही हूँ, आज वो हज़ारों बच्चे जिन्हें हमने बाल विवाह के शोषण से बचाया है वो इस अवार्ड को रिसीव कर रहे हैं। आज के 12 साल पहले केवल एक अप्रोच थी कि अगर कहीं बाल विवाह हो रहा है तो जाइए और रुकवा दीजिए, लेकिन उन बच्चों का क्या जिन बच्चों का बाल विवाह हो चुका है, जो उस बाल विवाह में शोषित हैं। उसी सोच के चलते हमने 2012 में देश का पहला बाल विवाह कैंसिल अनलमेंट करवाया, क्योंकि देश में ऐसा पहली बार हुआ कि कोई बाल विवाह कैंसिल हुआ तो उसे लिम्का बुक ऑफ रिकॉर्ड्स में दर्ज किया गया, वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड्स में दर्ज किया गया, CBSE बोर्ड ने अपने करिकुलम में से इंक्लूड किया। और अभी हम राजस्थान को देश में अव्वल दर्जे पर ला चुके हैं जहां सबसे ज़्यादा बाल विवाह कैंसिल हो रहे हैं। मुझे बहुत सारे अवार्ड्स अचीवमेंट्स मिल चुके हैं। अभी लास्ट मंथ दिसंबर में मुझे ग्लोबल ह्यूमन राइट्स चैम्पियन अवार्ड से सम्मानित किया गया। मुझे वर्ल्ड टॉप 10 एक्टिविस्ट में शामिल किया गया है। मुझे BBC 100 ने इंस्पिरेशनल वुमेन में इंक्लूड किया गया है। बॉलीवुड हॉलीवुड से भी मुझे बहुत सारे अवार्ड्स मिले हैं, लेकिन मेरा जो सबसे बड़ा अवार्ड है वो है मैंने जहां हज़ारों बच्चों को बाल विवाह से मुक्ति दिलाई और उन्हें एक नई ज़िंदगी दी है। मैंने अब तक 48 बाल विवाह निरस्त करवा चुकी हूँ और बिल्कुल मैं अपने अर्धशतक के बहुत करीब हूँ। जल्द ही मैं अपना बाल विवाह निरस्त की हाफ सेंचुरी लगाऊंगी। 1700 बच्चों का बाल विवाह होने से पहले रुकवा चुकी हूँ। 15,500 बच्चों को जो अलग अलग चाइल्ड प्रोटेक्शन इश्यूज़ में शोषित थे उनको हम रिहैबिलिटेट कर चुके हैं और 25,000 लोगों को बाल विवाह नहीं करने की शपथ दिलवा चुके हैं। मैं बस ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं कहूँगी। हमारा एक ही सपना है कि बाल विवाह और बाल विवाह पीड़ित सिर्फ़ और सिर्फ एक ही जगह दिखाई दें, वो है किताबों में। और हम सब मिलकर कहें, Once upon a time there was a child marriage. Once upon a time there was an abuse and exploitation. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you so much, Preeti ma'am. We hope you'll continue to fight against such ill practices and will surely complete your century.
It's our privilege to recognize I Pro Bono. The institution ensures legal representation for child survivors of sexual abuse, trafficking, and bonded labor before various courts across the country through its tried and tested model. I would like to invite Ms. Deeksha Gujral on stage to receive the award on behalf of I Pro Bono.
Bharat sir is again requested to read the citation for Ms. Deeksha.
I Pro Bono for advocating for quality legal aid and justice for all and working to make it a reality. Congratulations.
We would like to request Honorable Justice Sir to do the honors, please. Let us give a huge round of applause.
Further now I request Ms. Deeksha to please share her feelings, how is she feeling today, and all her experiences.
Thank you so much. I'd like to thank DCPCR and the jury for this honor. It means a lot to us. I Pro Bono's goal is to use the law as a tool for social change. And as you mentioned, we do that by providing legal support and now psychosocial support to children who faced sexual abuse, trafficking, bonded labor, and children who are in conflict with the law. We also use strategic litigation and advocacy to address systemic issues in the child protection space. None of this work would be possible without our partner organizations across the country, who we work very closely with to address these issues, and without our panels of lawyers in Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, Kolkata, Jaipur, and Jodhpur, who dedicate their time to the cause of children. So I'd like to thank them, and I'd like to accept this award on behalf of our passionate and incredible team who make our work possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Deeksha. We hope you and your organization continue the good work.
Well, moving on to the next winner, it is our privilege to recognize Udayan Care, which was founded in 1994 by Dr. Kiran Modi, presently founder and manager trustee. It is presently working in 34 cities across 15 Indian states. I would like to invite on stage Dr. Kiran Modi, founder Udayan Care, to please receive the award.
I would request Shri Bharat Parashar sir to read the citation for Udayan Care.
Udayan Care, for their 3 decades of work to improve and shape lives of children from underserved backgrounds. Thank you. Congratulations.
Honorable Justice Sir is requested to please do the honors. Now we'd love to hear from you. Please say a few words.
To all the dignitaries here and to all the dignitaries sitting in the hall. It's a singular honor, and I accept this award on behalf of my trustees, my staff, all my thousands of volunteers all across India, with humility and above all, on behalf of our children. because children make us what we are. I would just take a minute and tell a little story. Years back when I just started, we started with children's homes. And the children, the new batch of children, when they came in, we were doing some art therapy exercises with them. One of the children, the topic was your home. So he made a shut home, and there were trees outside, but no child. I said, there are no children. Where are you? Where are others? Ghar ke andar sab band hain. And after 3 months, after doing a lot of work with the child, when again the same topic was given to them, this time the whole painting was full of children. The door was open, children were playing outside. So psychosocial support is something which we give the children. It really opens them up, and it brings the best in them. And we are really privileged that we have been able to find thousands of volunteers all across India who have been able to take our message, and we've been able to reach out to 30,000 beneficiaries, all for higher education, besides our child protection work. And this really means a lot to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kiran. We hope you continue to do the good work.
Now it is our privilege to recognize Gopi Shankar Madurai, founder of Srishti Madurai Volunteer Movement, an inclusive pro bono group of academicians, scholars, human rights activists, environmentalists, and gender and queer activists. I would like to invite Gopi Shankar Madurai on stage.
I would like to request Bharat sir to read the citation, please.
A big round of applause for sir.
Mr. Gopi Shankar Mohan, for their contributions in advocating the rights of infants born with diverse sex and gender characteristics. Congratulations, Mr. Mohan.
Now I'd like to request Gopi Shankar Madurai to please say a few words.
Vanakkam, namaste. I wish the NCPCR and every other state child protection commission functions like DCPCR, but that is not happening. You're giving this award to a people or a person whose identity is not even part of the census of India. Yes, we are not part of the census of India. Intersex infants or gender non-conforming don't have a single policy from the government of India. And the government of India formed National Council for Transgender Person, in which I became the first intersex statutory authority in independent India. But that board is useless because we are not allowed to function. And we see how the NCPCR is functioning in a beautiful manner. So forming the boards is not important, but it should be functional. And the most important thing is that the gender non-conforming children, the government of India don't have any data of number of gender non-conforming children living in India. The problem starts with, we don't know the difference between sex identity and gender identity. In Constitution, we only have the word sex. But because of the ignorance of the courts, because of the ignorance of the medical practitioners, because of the ignorance of the larger policy makers, we interchangeably use the word sex and gender together, but that is wrong. Female and women are different. Male and man are different. And we are intersex and we don't have any voice. Tamil Nadu became the first state in India to ban sex-selective surgeries. And DCPCR also recommended the Delhi government to ban such surgeries. And we expect the Delhi government to ban such surgeries too. And our work is to highlight and to tell that we exist, because nobody knows who are intersex. Before 10 years when I started, it was Anjali who came down to Madurai to support us, Anjali Gopalan from NAS Foundation, a lot of people. So I dedicate this award to Holy Mother Sharda Devi, who's our inspiration, and Sri Paramanandji Chadda Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gopi Shankar ji. We hope you continue to do the good work. We would like to express our gratitude to Ms. Bharti Ali for her prolific work as an experienced co-founder, executive director of HUC, Center for Child Rights. She has played crucial role in formulation of different schemes, policies, and legislations related to children. She has very formidably used the courts to improve the implementation of juvenile justice law and POCSO Act. An experience of 28 years, and she works to help children directly. We request Ms. Bharti to kindly come on stage.
Now I'd request Bharat sir to please read the citation for ma'am.
It's an honor to read Bharti Ali's citation. Wonderful lady and wonderful human being and wonderful work you have been doing. Bharti Ali, for her 3 decades of advocacy, research and demonstrable work to protect children victims of violence, neglect and abuse. Congratulations.
We would like to request Honorable Justice Sir to confer the Children's Champion Award to Ms. Bharti.
Ma'am is requested to share her thoughts with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Deeply honored, and more so receiving it from you, Justice Muralidhar. There's so much I relate to in this room today. Actually, I didn't know. I'm still a little confused as to why I got the Children's Champion Award. Was it my size and weight, or? You know, I say that because I know today morning also, as I woke up and opened my mobile, there was this father who has been fighting for justice for his daughter, 3-year-old, when she was abused, 17th December 2012, just the day after Nirbhaya. Still struggling. I pro bono will relate to it. They've been helping the father. But he's so hopeful. And he still has this hope that there will be justice someday. So if it's about hope, I get my hope from people like him. And if it's about hope, then I definitely accept this award. It's the hope that will keep us going. If it's about the work, then it's about HUC Center for Child Rights. I don't think I could have done this individually without the organizational backup. I have to thank Inakshi for coming to me when the HUC was in the process of being co-founded. I'm missing her today. 5 years ago, she would have been with me here. I also have to thank my husband, who's somewhere there, Mushtaq. You know, we would not have been registered as a non-profit had he not done it for us. And he's been my continuous support in all these years. A Children's Champion Award cannot be received without thanking your own children. And I remember my daughter's first birthday. I was in a police station and was being carried from this huge van with the child to the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Hospital. We spent the night just doing that. And morning I had to find my daughter sleeping, not knowing where the mother was. So yes, I think there are so many in this room who will have similar stories, and that's why I say I relate to everyone. I'll take more than 60 seconds, if you allow. Thank you. There is a lot of validation also in this room today. I have to thank Anurag for that. He mentioned one of our research reports that they took forward and did more investigation on and are using it to get certain things implemented. So that's validation. That's validation for HUC. There's so many people here. Santulan, for instance, are working with children of stone quarry workers. And, you know, not many people are aware that there is something called the District Mineral Foundation, which has hundreds of crores of non-lapsable funds, you know, lying there meant to be spent for the welfare of people who are affected by mining. So I see a possibility, and I take back that possibility of connecting with people like Santulan. I think ma'am has left, but, you know, the Anganwadis that need to reach the brick kilns because that's not in the jurisdiction of the village and therefore never gets covered.
So there are a lot of people here today I'm going to connect to after I leave this platform, and I thank DCPCR for making this possible. There are people here from HUC. I don't think, as I said, without the organizational support, so it's not just one building, it's the people. There's Preeti, I can see, my strong support. Every human being who's part of an organization and manages to be able to do something has screamed and yelled at someone or the other at some point of time. So I really have to apologize to my team for bearing with all that, but it would not have been possible without, some of those mistakes that we make. So when you recognize champions, remember that champions don't come without, they don't come out clean. They also carry baggage of making certain mistakes, and I hope people will excuse me if I've ever made any of those mistakes. Thank you so much. Thanks to the jury. Thanks to everyone in the Delhi Commission for Protection of Child Rights who have today recognized the likes of me. And I'm glad this is not Nobel Peace Prize. You can't have peace in the world without children. So children come first. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Bharti ma'am. Our children really need to learn from you. And I guess your husband must really be proud of you.
It's our privilege to recognize Ms. Anjali Gopalan, who is a pioneer in the field of HIV prevention in India. Her work has been pronounced among preventive and curative by designing a model for an integrated system in children's care facilities, which includes HIV-positive children. I would like to invite Ms. Gopalan on stage.
Now I request Bharat sir to read citation for ma'am.
Ms. Anjali Gopalan, for serving children infected with HIV and for her advocacy work advancing the discourse on identity and sexuality. Congratulations.
I would like to request Honorable Justice Sir to confer the Children's Champion Award to Ms. Gopalan. Let us give a huge round of applause to ma'am. She has been working hard in this field. I would like to request Ms. Anjali to say a few words.
Thank you. Thank you, DCPCR. It's not often I get recognized by the government, so it's a huge honor and privilege. And I'm also thanking my mother. I had never thought of children. I had decided I didn't want children. I didn't want anything to do with children. So she was very upset with me. And then, when we got the first child, left at the organization, and no one was taking this child because of his status. So I said, okay, we have to do something. My mom actually said, the child is there, you have to do something. So we set up the home for children living with HIV. And it's amazing how children make you see love differently, right? It's truly amazing. And therefore today I think I am who I am because of the children and because of the animals that I work with. I can never forget them. And because of the wonderful people, as Bharti ji just said, you cannot do this without the support of someone like James at NAS, the board, people like all of you, Justice Muralidhar. I cannot thank you enough, really. And the only way I could show my respect was to remove my shoes. I didn't know how else to do it. But you have, what you did changed the lives of millions. And my life has come full circle. Thank you. Thank you for being who you are, and thank you for doing what you're doing, because I think the country has survived because of people like you and all of us over here. And therefore, all of us need to have a huge clap for everyone in this room. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Anjali ma'am. We hope you will continue to serve this noble cause. Well, it's our privilege to recognize Breakthrough Trust, which was founded in 1999 with a mission to work towards making violence and discrimination against women and girls unacceptable. I would like to invite Ms. Sohini Bhattacharya to come on stage and receive the award on the behalf of this institution.
I would like to request Sri Bharat Parashar sir to read the citation for Breakthrough Trust and Ms. Sohini to kindly come on stage.
Breakthrough Trust for their commendable efforts in curbing violence and discrimination towards girls.
Now I'd request Justice Sir to please do the honors.
I would like to request Ms. Sohini to say a few words.
Well, we never wanted to become a child rights organization. We were always a women's rights organization. And then somewhere down the line, we realized that if we have to talk about discriminatory norms and harmful social expectations, we have to start talking to children because they are the future and they are the ones who can create a generational shift. So we work with children, adolescents we call them. We don't like to consider them as children because they're above, they're between the age group of 11 to 18, which kinds of falls into a dark gray area in terms of terminology. So we work with adolescents and we work with them in rural areas, trying to build gender equitable opinions and views so that a whole generation of them can actually reach their full potential, make their own life decisions, and can actually learn to value and respect different kinds of opinions. We work within government schools, about thousands of them, with a gender equity curriculum that builds all of these behaviors and also encourages teachers, school administrators, school leaders to demonstrate gender equitable behavior in the classroom. We work in 6 states of India, including Punjab and Orissa, where we are working with the state education department to actually build a more gender equitable, gender transformative education system in the country. And I hope we will be successful in the long run. Thank you very much. This is an honor, and because the recognition as a children's champion hasn't come to us before this. So thank you, DCPCR. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, jury member. This is indeed a real honor for us. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Sohini ma'am. We hope you and your institution will continue benefiting women and girls all across the nation and breaking through all the barriers that come in their way.
Moving on to our next category in line is arts.
It is our privilege to celebrate the contribution of Manzil Mystics in the fields of art. It is the institution which strongly believes that music is one of the most important parts of every childhood. May I request Mr. Anurag to come on stage and receive the award on the behalf of this institution.
I would like to invite Mr. Anshu Gupta, selection committee member, to read the citation for Manzil Mystics.
तो जो इससे पहली कैटेगरी थी, मुझे याद है जब हम लोग प्रोसेस में थे तो मोस्ट ऑफ अस हैड दिस सेंटिमेंट कि भाई इन लोगों को तो देख देख के हम बड़े हो रहे हैं. तो थैंक यू किरण फॉर डूइंग व्हाट यू डूइंग. थैंक यू भारती. थैंक यू अंजलि जी. This next category is the most important category because we feel that we live because of art, we live because of music. And in the last, that COVID phase, when we were thinking कि हम 3 कमरों के bedroom में 3-bedroom house में भी we used to feel isolated. There were these millions of people who were confined, who were forced to confine in one room set when the outer spaces were also closed. Some organizations did absolutely wonderful work because they had the roots, they knew about it. So one of them, of course, is here is Manzil Mystic. And just a single line for them right now. Manjil Mystics for their incredible work of using music to improve the lives of children from challenging socio-economic backgrounds.
Now I'd like to request Honorable Justice Sir to please do the honors and confer the Children's Champion Award.
Where words fail, music speaks. It is the strongest form of magic. Please put your hands together for Manzil Mystics.
Further, I'll request Mr. Anurag to please say a few words on the behalf of Manzil Mystics.
थैंक यू सो मच. मेरे को कलाकार की श्रेणी में मिला है, तो कलाकार का मतलब होता है जो कल को आकार दे, क्योंकि कला हमारे आज को खुश करती है. और मैं उन्हीं दिल्ली सरकारी स्कूल के बच्चों में से एक हूँ जो इन स्कूलों में पढ़ा और आज किसी कॉलेज में नहीं गया और मेरे किसी कोई भी फाउंडर कोई इंजीनियर नहीं है. एंड वी बिल्ट इंडियाज़ फर्स्ट मोबाइल म्यूजिक क्लासरूम एंड रिकॉर्डिंग स्टूडियो. And I'm receiving this award on behalf of every child, every musician and music lover in India and everywhere in the world. And thank you so much for doing that. And I really want to thank Manzil Welfare Society for giving me this name, Manzil Mystics, and especially Ravi Gulati Bhaiya for making this possible for all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Anurag. We hope you and your institution continue to add mystical touch of music in our children's lives.
Now it is our privilege to celebrate the contribution of Foundation of Arts for Social Change in India. The foundation has empowered children by using the power of visual and performing arts like storytelling, poetry, and theatre to build skills like creativity, compassion, and empathy. May I request Ms. Jigyasa to come on stage and receive the award on the behalf of the institution. A big round of applause for her.
I would like to invite Mr. Anshu Gupta, the jury member, to read the citation for Arts for Social Change in India.
Foundation for Arts for Social Change in India for their efforts towards using visual and performing arts to build life skills among children. Congratulations.
Now I'd like to request Honorable Justice Sir to confer the Children's Champion Award on Arts for Social Change in India. Further, now I'll request Ms. Jigyasa to please say a few words on the behalf of the institution.
Hi everyone. Can I request all of us to take a moment, take a deep breath, and think about a child who is really important to you. Think about the dreams you have for this child. Often when we work with children who come from low-income backgrounds, our dreams are restricted for them. We think about for them to, at best, be good at academics or get a job. But finding a safe space to discover who we are, who we want to be, and to dream is a right for every single child. And while the arts is one of the most powerful way to do that, in India, our children get less than 20 hours of artistic education in a government school. One of the children that I work with, Supriya, once wrote in her poem, "The red high brick walls of this school are so high that only the walls can see the world outside." I hope that more and more children, through poetry, through visual art, through storytelling, through learning to share their stories, can see the world outside of school. Thank you so much for this award.
Thank you, Ms. Jigyasa. We hope you and your institution continue to do the great work in enhancing children's creativity and empathy. The next category in line is academics. It is our privilege to recognize Dr. Vinita Kaul, who is a Professor Emerita Education and Director of School of Education Studies, Founder Director of Center for Early Childhood Education and Development, CECED at Ambedkar University. Her doctorate from Indian Institute of Technology, Delhi in 1981 focused on strengths of disadvantaged children.
I'd like to invite Ms. Gunjan Sharma to read the citation for ma'am.
It's an honor to announce the citation for Dr. Professor Vinita Kaul for her academic work in the field of early childhood education and bringing the much needed policy practice focus on early years.
We would like to request Honorable Justice Sir to confer the Children's Champion Award to Dr. Vinita Kaul. Let us give a huge round of applause to ma'am. I would like to request Dr. Kaul to say a few words, please.
Thank you very much, DCPCR, for organizing this, not only this Champions Award, but for the beautiful morning we have spent today and the kind of experiences that we have heard. I think it's very humbling, and I'm very, very honored, but also humbled by the award that has been given to me. So thank you very much. Just in a lighter vein, I would like to also say that I'm very honored by getting it from Honorable Justice Muralidhar for a very special reason. And the special reason is that as I was reflecting on this award and my own professional journey in early childhood education, I started to think of where I started. And I started with my mentor, Professor Muralidhar, who was the person who really got me into early childhood education. And today, at almost a culmination point, I'm taking this award from Justice Muralidhar. So I think it is really a very special day for me. I would like to just take on for a minute, not even a minute, a few seconds, because I'm told to finish in 60 seconds, from what Justice Lokur said in the morning, that it's very important to focus on children if you want to ensure the future of the country. And I think when we focus on children, what is very important to focus on the early years of children, because those are the years in which the child's life is made. So that is the message that we have been conveying all through my professional life, through various fora. But I would say that the award that has been given to me, I am receiving it on the behalf of so many people from whom I have learned, from whom I have been inspired, and from whom I have collaborated with. Some of them in this, some seniors like Devika ji, who is here, and who has been a source of a great inspiration. Gunjan, who's been working with me, she just gave the citation. I think Sumitra is there, Mobile Crashes, and so many more in my long journey who have really, with whom I have collaborated, and whatever I've been able to do, for which I'm getting the award, is actually the work of all these people whom I term as the ECE community. And I think I'm taking this award on behalf of that ECE community. For us, it has been a great sense of achievement we've had since the national policy, when after so many years of struggle, early childhood care and education has been given due prominence in the policy. And we hope that once the policy emphasizes it, there will be some action also to support that policy. So thank you very, very much for this great honor.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vinita ma'am. We hope you continue with your amazing work. Well, we would now like to celebrate the eminent contribution of Dr. Neelam Sukramani. She's a professor at the Department of Social Work at Jamia Millia Islamia. For the children whose parents are incarcerated, she began working on the issue in 2015. I would like to invite Dr. Neelam Sukramani to come on stage and receive the award.
I would like to request Ms. Gunjan Sharma, Assistant Professor, Ambedkar University, to read the citation for Dr. Neelam Sukramani.
It's a pleasure to read the citation for Professor Neelam Sukramani for her academic pursuit to document and highlight the pain and suffering of the children of incarcerated parents. Congratulations, ma'am.
Now may I request Honorable Justice Sir to please do the honors.
Further, we would like to request Dr. Sukramani to say a few words.
Good afternoon, everyone who's sitting on the dais over here, and all the colleagues sitting in the over here as well. It is a very, very humbling moment for me to receive this award, and I'm extremely thankful to DCPCR for recognizing this category of children who are invisibilized by virtue of the identity of their parents. I take this opportunity to thank DCPCR for instituting this award and for granting this award to me. I would just take a few seconds. I dedicate this award to those children. I would like to thank, and any kind of work is not possible without the effort of a team. I am extremely thankful to Professor Sigamani Paneer, who was there along with me while we submitted this proposal to ICMR, Dr. Shweta Verma, Shivangi Gupta, Navni Gupta, and many more people who have contributed to this, and also to all the caregivers of these children who have made this research possible, and so many more people who allowed us the platform to talk about this. And there is a lot of work which is still pending, some of it to be done with DCPCR, and even otherwise also, to make the visitation facility in prisons more child-friendly, to actually recognize kinship caregiving, which is so significant. I just take a few seconds more to talk about the fact that even though the R.D. Upadhyay versus State of Andhra Pradesh judgment had highlighted the fact, the need to work with children who are living in the prisons with their mothers, but children on the outside are a neglected category completely because of the fact that they are pushed to the periphery, they do not want to identify themselves, and also there is no database on these children as well. So it was a very, very challenging task to even identify these children, reach out to these children, and also to protect the identity of these children as well as engage with them. But the kind of transitions that they have been through in various spheres of their life, be it education, residential transitions, I think it is an eye-opener for us. And what are the factors which put them to greater risk, and what are the factors which also protect them? I think this has been a journey of great learning for me, and I would like to thank my family, my mother, my father who's there in spirit with me, and my daughter who've made this possible for me. Thank you so much for acknowledging this.
Thank you so much, Dr. Neelam Sukramani. We are inspired to see you serve this very noble cause.
It is rightly said, a healthy outside starts from inside. We move on to our last category for the day, that is health and nutrition.
It is our privilege to recognize Lok Nayak Jayaprakash Narayan LNJP Hospital working tremendously in improving the health of children. The hospital rose to challenge in particular during COVID-19 pandemic second wave when the threat loomed largely directly on children. And because of parental loss, the hospital has been making several efforts every now and then to ensure better infrastructures and health facilities for our children. So I would like to invite Dr. Suresh Kumar on stage to receive the award on the behalf of this institution.
I would like to invite Dr. Shuchin Bajaj to read the citation, please.
Before I read the citation for one of the best medical schools and hospitals in the country, I would like to personally express my deepest sense of gratitude and sincerest sense of thanks to LNJP for leading from the front during some of the most difficult times we've faced in our lives over the last few years. And this award is, I think, to Dr. Suresh and all his team of doctors and nurses, paramedics, non-medical staff who did not flinch and fought in the trenches alongside all of us there. This award is to LNJP Hospital for their exemplary service in providing healthcare to the children during the most difficult circumstances during COVID-19 pandemic. Many congratulations.
Now I'll request Honorable Justice Sir to confer the Children's Champion Award on LNJP Hospital.
They have really worked hard. Let us give a huge round of applause. They were the life saviors. I would like to request Dr. Suresh Kumar to say a few words.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, DCPCR and all the dignitaries on the dais. It's great honor for all of us as a medical director. My team was doing great job during last 3 years, and we have successfully treated more than 25,000 COVID patients, highest in the country. We have successfully treated thousands of pediatric patients less than 15 years of age. We have special pediatric ICU, neonatal ICU, and state-of-the-art labor room. We have conducted 800 plus deliveries in COVID-positive mothers, 400 cesarean sections, highest in the country, and 0 death in the category of COVID mothers. We received UNICEF recognition and United Nations appreciation for the best COVID care in the country. We have lost, during this pandemic, 13 doctors, nurses, and paramedics. It was a very tough time for all of us, but fortunately, we have the highest success rate. And the children's, the two important issue and the stories I want to just say in 1 minute, that we have single mother, very tough delivery, cesarean was performed, and mother we could not save after the cesarean. And the new girl was alone, and nobody from the family was ready to take her home. And one of our sisters adopted her after the COVID. I was just looking at the story in the morning that one laborer was lying on the platform, and she was pulling the blanket that mother is alive, but we have seen that horrible story at the COVID, but we have seen that large number of deaths in our mortuary, and nobody was there to receive them. And in the hospital, we have to hire 20 hearse vans to carry the dead bodies to the Nigambod Ghat. And no one was there. And I was personally monitoring the burial and the funeral of all these COVID cases. So it was very tough time. But our team, it's salute to medical doctors, nurses of Loknayak Hospital, जिसकी वजह से आपने हमें सम्मानित किया. हम बहुत धन्यवाद देते हैं, बहुत गौरवान्वित महसूस करते हैं. And we are proud that this society and organization from Delhi government has appreciated our efforts. Thanks all of you. Thank for your love and affection. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Indeed, the COVID time was heart-wrenching for all of us, but I think you did a tremendous job as a life savior.
It's our privilege to recognize the mobile creche that has been successful in directly reaching over 87,000 children through 6,500 childcare workers and 250 employers for young children at the construction sites of Delhi NCR and in the slum settlements of Delhi. I would like to invite Ms. Sumitra Mishra on stage along with Ms. Devika Singh and Mr. Rohit Bhasin.
I would also request Dr. Shuchin Bajaj, Director, Ujjwala Cygnus Hospital, and a jury member to read the citation for mobile creche.
It's an honor to read the citation that the jury has finalized. Of course, when we were in the jury, all the commas and the dots and the letters were fought over on what to write in one sentence for an organization that has worked for decades and affected thousands and millions of children. So this award is for Mobile Creche for demonstrating that early childhood care and development matters most for the children's growth. Many congratulations.
I would like to request Honorable Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar to confer the Children's Champion Award on Mobile Creche.
A big round of applause for Mobile Creche. I'd request now to share her thoughts with her.
This is a humbling and a very proud moment to be amongst so many people who've contributed to unraveling so many sides of childhood and support for them. I'm proud and happy to be here. I just would like to say 2 words, that it's been my, what shall I say, a wonderful opportunity for me through my life to know and see and the unraveling of early childhood, to see all the potential and to see all the inputs that you give to them and all their needs and understand it, to know what the foundations of human development are all about and what lies in happiness and true well-being. I really thank all my colleagues, all the people who've been part of this great endeavor, and all who are today that fill me with hope. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We hope you and your organization continue to do the good work.
We would use this opportunity to recognize the Delhi Council for Child Welfare, DCCW, a registered non-governmental organization established in 1952. The council first started its working among children who had been displaced, lost or abandoned in the riots during the partition of India. And they also have provided them care. So may I request Dr. Sandhya Bhalla to come on stage and receive this award. I would also request Dr. Suchin Bajaj to please read the citation for this institution.
It's an honor to read the citation for Delhi Council for Child Welfare for their decades of service to provide home and holistic development to children who are displaced or abandoned. Many congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Delhi Council for Child Welfare. We would like to request Dr. Bhalla to say a few words.
Thank you for the award, and frankly, this award, I'm taking it on behalf of my entire team at Palna. My colleague who's sitting here with me, who leads Palna, and the credit goes to those who provide the support and care for all these little children who are left in the cradle or are left in the hospital toilets, where we get a call from CWC to come and take the child. And 800 grams, 900 grams, when you see the child, you can hold the kid like this. It's absolutely amazing the work that our medical team does. And I would also like to thank LNJP. They are, along with my team, the real saviors of these children. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sandhya. We hope you'll continue with your outstanding work.
It's our privilege to recognize the incredible contribution of Arvind Eye Care. It provides comprehensive services to children aged below 16 years and is well recognized, saving children suffering with retinoblastoma, which is fast-spreading, often fatal eye cancer that strikes children 5 years and under. The hospital has treated and rehabilitated more than 1,000 children with retinoblastoma. May I request Ms. P. Vijay Lakshmi to come on stage to receive the award on behalf of Arvind Eye Care.
I would like to invite on stage Dr. Ankit Mogha, Chief Medical Officer and a selection committee member, to please read the citation for Ms. Vijay Lakshmi.
Let us give a huge round of applause to Arvind Eye Care.
First of all, thank you so much. It's a very honorable to be here. Thank you, Mr. Anurag. Thank you, sir. Thank you, all of you. I'll just call you the Arvind Eye Care for their extraordinary work in improving the eyesight of visually impaired children.
We would like to request Honorable Dr. Justice Sir to confer Children's Champion Award to Arvind Eye Care.
Further, I would request ma'am to please say a few words.
Thank you, Justice and the DCPR team. As you know, Aravind Eye Care System is supposed to be one of the largest eye care facility in the region. started almost 5 decades ago with 6 tertiary eye care centers, 7 secondary eye care centers, and 105 primary eye care centers. So all these centers, mainly the tertiary eye care center takes care of the childhood population care in their own region. So that is how we approach the pediatric eye care. And I am basically a pediatric ophthalmologist behind the work, developing the system in all the hospitals. And as our mission goes, that nobody goes needlessly blind. And as far as possible, even if they are blind, should try to uplift their life. So in that sense, in pediatric populations, apart from taking care of the walking-in patients, irrespective of their paying capacity, we also reach the children, school-going children, both in the schools and in the community, detect them as if they are visually impaired, and if possible, treat them with a pair of spectacles. So thousands of spectacles we provide every month for these children at free of cost. And the next category is going to the community and screening the children in the Anganwadi. Sensitizing the Anganwadi sisters, as we have been telling, everybody is telling, the early recognition, early intervention is the best methodology. So those teachers have been trained by us to detect the eye problems. All is done by that tertiary center in the serving areas, mostly rural and semi-urban, and sometimes in urban areas also. And having said that, we treat the visually those who are getting cured by. So what about the children who cannot be cured? They have diseases, born with blindness, inherited eye diseases, or there is one disease occurs in premature children called retinopathy of prematurity. So, and then we said the cancers in children called retinoblastoma. What should be done? So retinoblastoma, we have developed a separate cancer center with the help of local oncologists. And for these children in the NICUs, somebody said 800 gram, 900 gram, they are all prone to develop eye problems. So our first option was preventing that occurrence of complication. So we have a tie-up with all NICUs and then do the screening. And the next is these children, they develop later on a brain insult, sometimes, not always, but some are born with cerebral palsy, as we all know. So we call that as either brain blindness or is a cerebral vision impairment. So what should we do for that? As for that, we try early intervention programs to assess or identify these children and then intervene them successfully, at least from no vision at all, giving some vision for them for an ambulation. So that is, we have a very dedicated team for that. All the 6 centers, we have a dedicated team going in for intervention. And during this COVID time, as the parents could not come, we were doing it online, the vision therapy. So that is the way we give counseling for the education, counseling for the mobility, teach them about even mobile training we are giving, and the training in computers. And recently, we have introduced an artificial intelligence built spectacles, all in one model, where the child can read with a scanning technique, child can recognize and function independently. So with this service, I think we recognized as Vision 20 has recognized the child to rights, sight is the right for the child. We also follow the same path, and then I think whatever we have done some, and much has to be done in future. I think we will follow in that footsteps and then try to reach more underprivileged children in the community and try to uplift them whatever way possible. Vision, if they treat them, treat. If it is not possible to treat, try to give a quality life by other means. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vijay Lakshmi ma'am. We hope you and your organization continue to do good work for children's eyes.
Now it's our privilege to recognize Dr. Rajesh Sagar for his incredible vision to improve mental health and promote well-being among children and adolescents. I would like to invite Dr. Rajesh Sagar to come on stage.
I would like to request Dr. Ankit Moga to read the citation for Dr. Sagar.
Dr. Rajesh Sagar, for his contribution to improve mental health and well-being among children and adolescents.
Now may I request Justice Muralidhar to please do the honors.
Audience, let us give a huge round of applause. I would like to request Dr. Rajesh to say a few words.
Good afternoon to everyone. I think, first of all, my thanks to DCPCR and all those who are here, and all the dignitaries who are here and sitting here and there. And let me tell you, it has been wonderful experience since morning. And not only, I am the recipient of the award, but also meeting many people here, and I am thrilled to know that all of you are working with the same cause, that is for children. I think thanks DCPR in that way, and all those who are working with the children in a passionate way. I think that is very thrilling moment, especially for me. What I believe is that in fact, in some of my lectures, I have said the country is known that how they take care of our children. I think there is no doubt, and we all know world's most valuable asset or resource are children. Now, to go step further, a world is known that how a child with the mental health problems are taken care of. I think that becomes so important, and we all know they are neglected, and the lot of problems, exploitation, and some of those issues which are there related to mental health. And also we need to know that suicide, which again is a very, very serious problem. So in a way, having this award, it will motivate people and those who are working in this very, very important field. That is, we heard about psychosocial, we had heard about some of the mental health issues. So in that way, I think it will be the motivating force to have this particular award. I think what we need to know that mental health often is a neglected area, and we all need to work that how we can reduce the stigma. Stigma becomes a very, in a way, stumbling block, and we need to educate people that the way we take care of physical health, similarly we have to take care of mental health also. And we all know that sometimes it can have a serious implication. In fact, we heard about so many psychosocial issues since morning. We are discussing about education also. So a lot of these have psychosocial aspect and mental health component. And let me tell you that we can really do wonders by early identification and early treatment. It's a myth that this cannot be treated, this cannot be taken care of. I think, and those especially children who have physical problem also, similar, also they have a comorbid mental health issues. So my message here is that we all need to be advocate. We need to, my message is mainly for society, that how we should not in a way mock them, we should not laugh at them. They are part of our society. We need to, in a way, show our hand to them so that, they are one of us. And we have, sometimes we see some of the stories that, in a way, they are, they are laughable, and, a lot of stigma is attached. So I think we need to be very careful about it. I think in this, since morning, it has been wonderful experience, and my thanks to DCPCR. And it was wonderful to meet all of you. I know 60 seconds were given, and to ask a psychiatrist to say, 60 seconds is a very tough job. But anyway, I think to remain connected, especially after COVID, I think the mental health issues have become a very serious issue. But the point what I'm trying to say here is that all can be treated, and they can be taken care of, and we can give a really wonderful life to these children. I think, and that is what we all have to work together collectively so that we can take care of these children. My thanks to all those people with whom I have worked, and my family, my wife who is sitting here, my son who is here, because they have suffered in a way because I have been so busy in the hospital for many years now. So in a way, this award goes to family and the people with whom I have worked and those children. So, the point is that this award is just happy to know that for a mental health expert, this has been recognized, and this will be a motivation, inspiration to other people who are working in this area. Thank you so much. Thank you again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rajesh, sir. We hope you will continue to work in this field, and we wish you the best of luck for your future endeavors.
As we move towards the closure of this ceremony, we would like to celebrate the remarkable contribution of our final awardee, the Student Welfare Mission, led by Mr. Kumud Kolita, who has been engaged in the services of providing care to children with special abilities like cerebral palsy, autism, and other special abilities. We would like to invite Mr. Kumud on stage, please.
Again, I'd like to request Dr. Ankit Mogha to read the citation for sir.
Yeah, please come, sir. The name. Please come, sir. The Student Welfare Mission, for their consistent effort to provide quality care to the children with special needs. So please.
We would like to request Honorable Dr. Justice Sir to confer the Children's Champion Award to Student Welfare Mission. An organization.
Big round of applause for this mission. Further, I would request sir to please say a few words, share his experiences.
Namaskar. Honorable Justice Dr. S. Muralidhar, Chairperson DCPCR, and all other dignitaries and friends. I am humbled by this award and for reposing your trust in me and the organization that I represent. I thank you for recognizing that these special children in Topobon Students Welfare Mission need all kinds of supports and assistance. I am here to seek support from you all in all our future endeavor in the days ahead. This is for the first time, perhaps, since I started working with these children, that an organization, whether in private or public, outside the state of Assam, has recognized our efforts. Thank you once again to Government of Delhi and the Delhi Commission for Protection of Child Rights. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kumud. We really hope you will keep working on towards the betterment of the lives of our specially abled brothers and sisters.
Now I would like to request Honorable Justice S. Muralidhar Sir, the Chief Justice of Odisha High Court, to kindly address the gathering.
A big round of applause for sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Saksham and Bhavna. I think we first need to congratulate DCPCR for organizing this wonderful function. It's just looking at the categories of awards, it's stunning to see how many people are working for the welfare of children in this country and doing selfless work and for many decades. It's an eye-opener that there's so much goodness in human society and in India and in Delhi. And this gives us all hope that all this work, all this selfless, endless hours of work does lead to a better future for many of our fellow human beings. And it's very inspiring. It's extremely inspiring. I've known the work of many of them who've been honored today by this, by the DCPCR. And I've been amazed at the kind of work they do. I must also say that I really don't know whether I'm the fit person to be giving away these awards, but I'm giving it away. I mean, I was giving it away on behalf of all of us, and I'm aware of that. And this acknowledgement of the excellent work done is such an important event. Apparently, this is the first of its kind of function, and I'm hoping that this is the first of many such functions which you will hold every year to honor the many people who've been working selflessly. I must share with all of you that what happens in Delhi doesn't happen everywhere in the country. I've been in the last 2 years in Odisha. A lot of good work is definitely happening in Odisha, but I think much more needs to be done. I think children everywhere have to be reached out to. I know everyone can't do all the work that needs to be done, but I think the stories, the work of these wonderful people who've been honored today will inspire many such groups of persons already working and who will continue to work, and many more who will join their efforts in making the life better for children. The judiciary and the lawyer community also has been part of this whole effort. I'm glad you recognize the work of the lawyers too. What struck me was the way DCPCR has been able to connect the dots and present the larger map before us of how much effort needs to go into making lives of children better. So this various categories, it's amazing how they thought of these categories, these many categories, and each of it so relevant and so important to be acknowledged. Children have various needs, but children are wonderful, what should I say, judges themselves of what we do in society. So when we see ourselves through the eyes of children, as many of them have shared with us, it changes our own perception of life. I just want to share one small thing with all of you. On November 14th, 2021, we held a painting competition in the family courts in Odisha for children between the age classes 7 and 10. And we gave them the theme of family. And from those many, we had some 800 plus entries, and we chose 12 best entries to make a calendar, a judicial calendar for the Orissa High Court and the Civil and Criminal Courts of Odisha. And when we released that calendar, we gave the children, we wanted them to come and tell us what inspired them to draw the way they had drawn. And I must tell you, it was stunning how children see the law, how children see institutions, and how children see families, and how children need to be staying, they yearn for being connected with society. And the work of all of you just reminded me that you're providing a wonderful future, at least a hope. One of you spoke of hope, and that is what keeps us going. That of getting children to do paintings for us and to use that as a judicial calendar told the lawyers in Odisha and the judges in Odisha why it's very important to listen to children, what children have to say, the way they look at all of us. And there's much to learn. I think they are the best teachers we can have for a better life for all of us. I was just going to make a suggestion to Anurag for the next edition. If you could get people like Jigyasa and Anurag, Manjul Mystics, to design the next Champions Award, to have children give away these awards, that would be wonderful. I would like to see more children in the audience because they are the main constituency for which all of them are working. And I'm sure they'll all feel very honored if they receive these awards from children. children for whom they worked all their lives. I also want all of us to put our hands together for Saksham and Bhavna, and Stuti and Gargi, who've been helping do the sign language interpretation for all of us, of all that's been happening. This is a wonderful occasion. I'm glad I was called here. I wish the excellent work progresses the way it should, and you continue to inspire all of us. I don't think we can say congratulations to these winners. We can only say thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. You've been so generous. We are delighted to have your words of wisdom.
And now for vote of thanks, I would like to invite Mr. Anurag, sir.
The food is waiting, and so are you. So I will be very brief. As the Honorable Justice very rightly said, I think congratulations are not in order, but sincerest gratitude is in order for everyone who has contributed their life or part of their lives to improving children's life outcomes. So for one last time, a big round of applause for every one of our awardees. My sincerest gratitude to the Honorable Justice Narasimha for gracing the occasion of the ceremony in the morning. Honorable Justice Muralidhar, Honorable Minister Ms. Atishi for finding time. I'm very, very grateful to our jury members and the selection committee members for going through or making the process very rigorous, very sincere, and very fair. My sincerest gratitude to the entire jury and selection committee members. Few people without whom this would not have been, this event or this award would not have been possible. Saksham, to begin with you, and I am very sincere when I say this, and I'm sure speak on behalf of many, that we are very glad that you are a child and we don't have to compete for jobs with you. Otherwise, we might be out of our jobs. So, because I have full confidence that you will make for a better chairperson DCPCR than me. And so, if I may permit, I think he may even make better Chief Justice as well. And I think we should be happy that you are still a child and that you have years ahead of you. But and I'm absolutely excited to see all the brilliant things that you will continue doing in your life. Thank you very much, Bhavna ma'am. Not for the anchoring, but for the teacher, for how you shape your children's lives every single day, and you stand in front of them in the classroom and do the things that you do. My special thanks, as Honorable Justice very rightly and very graciously said, Stuti and Gargi. It's very easy for us to ignore or not pay sufficient attention to the sign language interpretation that both of them have been doing for almost 3 hours now. So thank you very much for that as well. My sincerest gratitude to Mr. Bharat Parashar, Principal Secretary Law, for his time and for being kind enough and adding value to how he read the citations. Thank you very much, sir. 5 people from the DCPCR who absolutely I would fail in my responsibilities if I don't personally extend my thanks. Mr. Rishabh Bansal, I don't know whether he is here. Ms. Rupika is not here because she has fallen terribly sick. So she could not be here today, but she has been one of the biggest forces of why this event or this project has happened in the first instance. Shreyansh has, he's the reason we are here together, and if you think the entire event went quite smoothly, Shreyansh is responsible for that. And the most amazing thing is Shreyansh is 22 or 23. So that's quite inspiring, humbling, and intimidating, all at the same time. Sneh is here. She's very quiet, gentle soul who makes things happen at DCPCR. And lastly, Khem. Let me very explicitly and very unkindly say that awardees and honorable justice are the second most important people in the room. Khem is most important because he controls your food that you'll get 2 minutes later. So yeah, so we do thank Khem, otherwise he may not let you eat. So thank you very much, Khem. Lastly, Bharti, you said as to why we're conferring this award, perhaps because of the size and the weight, and that's correct. It is because of the size and weight of the actions that you've all undertaken, size and weight of the consequences and implications that your actions have led to and will continue to lead to. And as Jigyasa rightly said, she talked about the wall of the schools that children want to see beyond. Perhaps our children will scale the wall, and even more sincerely, I hope that we will demolish those walls. Thank you very much for all the work that you do.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words.
Hearty congratulations to all the awardees. We really hope you all continue to do outstanding work, creating a benchmark and inspiring us all to join you in the same.
With this, we mark the closure of this grand ceremony, but we aren't bidding adieu to you, for we never will, because it is not an end but a beginning of a new journey towards the betterment of the world, so that we can again meet here to recognize our efforts. We appreciate the patience of all our guests and the awardees. Thank you so much, everyone, and now we want to capture this memory we have made today. So I'd request all the awardees to please come on stage as fast as you can for a group photo, and then we can proceed to the much awaited lunch.
So all the awardees are requested to come on stage for a group photograph, and then we can quickly proceed towards lunch. And thank you, audience, for all your patience and cooperation. All the awardees to kindly come on stage quickly
For the group photograph.
for the group photograph. ऑरेंज रख के लाई थी मुझे, भूख लगी।
You didn't even get a time to set.
टाइम ही नहीं मिला ना।